inside of the routes, and on the exit area is where like the like hospital and like emergency and like vaccination and like all the adventurer like emergency stuff is located all there. Holy shit, we're so close. No! We'll probably end on stage 6, guys. I gotta go to bed. I gotta work early tomorrow. Unfortunately, short stream, but we will be back again tomorrow. As always. As always, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for hanging out. A little bit of a short stream, but that's how she goes. We're always here. That's what matters, right? So remember, hey, if you can't say fuck you to your friends, who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you. Die! This isn't fair. Die! Fuck me. I don't know this shit. Die! Wait, do you have to come up from... Nope. It's coming out from an angle. It's highlighting, but it's not clicking. This is bullshit. Ways to build your vocabulary, not necessarily the words themselves. Like that's what like I said, it's like I'm looking for techniques overall, and we're gonna write everything just as it is. We're gonna follow the guideline, no bullshit. We're just gonna follow the guideline. It's true, but you can start the process. I'm doing that. That's very true, Book. Getting ahead on the process is very good. So you let me know how it goes. You recommend to me, and maybe I can follow in the way. But like at the moment, I'm just doing so many fucking things that it's like ugh. And then you like micromanage those seconds out, and you turn like an hour of work into 55 minutes of work, and you turn 8 hours of work into 7 hours. And then you turn, you just keep compacting it. And then eventually you're just like booming through your daily quest like fucking crazy. I mean, if it's easier for you guys, like I'm always open to suggestions. If you guys have something that you're like, this isn't 100%, can we make it 100%? Take a look at the most popular books on Royal Road and you'll see what I mean. I do, because I've seen them, Beezus, and I always wondered why. Then maybe I could put notes in between. You know what? This might actually be a good thing, Beezus. I think we just leveled up. Beezus, I think you just leveled me up. Holy shit, dude. Thanks for participating and leveling up the stream. Oh no, is this gonna fuck everything up? Oh no. No, why did you get to attack? What? This is bullshit. Now 1,000. Well, I'm just gonna say fuck it. I'm not even gonna try to beat this one. All this chroma has been rather energizing. Thanks to you, I awakened from my slumber. Did my tales interest you this much? I'm afraid I have no more to share, but you can have this. We should be able to kill him with this. Yes! We wrote a little bit. It is what it is. We had a good stream today. It's the weekend. Tomorrow. Big stream tomorrow too, guys. Stick around. Look for that. Anyways, remember, if you can't say fuck you to your friends, who can you say fuck you to? Fuck you. Yeah, when you guys tell me something, you have to tell me like I'm a 2-year-old. You know, you said bada bing, bada boom, bada bang, you're done? Well, no, that was a 4.5 hour motherfucking heart attack. Don't ever convince me to fucking do anything with the PC ever again. So I see a pop-up on screen that says press F1 to go to BIOS. You've connected a new device. Like the other half of the screen shows a blue screen that's like, hey, your device didn't connect properly. We're gonna fuck with some shit and see what happens. So I left it there for like half an hour because it said it was gonna restart. And what do I do this time? I read the second line. And what does the second line say? Second line says press F2 to set default values. And it's like he comes into the office and he's that one guy who's like, he's wearing like a stained shirt and shorts and he's completely unkempt, but he's the only guy who knows how to use the old system, so you can't fire him. And that's literally what this fucking movie is about. Let's see what Grok can say. The movie is called Clear History with Larry David, and you look like the homeless guy in it. Wait, is that it? Fireblade, yes! Okay. Oh my god, we have to see this scene, because this scene is fucking hilarious. This is me, guys, this is me.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Howard.
Howard!
Yes.
And yeah, John Hamm.
Named Howard. Call it a Dewey. That's a good name. Call it Duncan.
I'm really sorry.
It doesn't matter if you apologize if it's not sincere.
Apologies don't have to be sincere.
That is literally the only thing an apology has to be.
Okay. I don't know if Smokey actually speaks Chinese or if he's using an auto-translate. I don't know. Damn! Twinning! What the fuck? Yo, 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 how's it going, everyone? We back at it again! How is everyone today? Another slow day today. We got some ideas for some, how to rewrite Stoner Girl Evolution, but we'll see. We'll see. It seems to be a little, going a little off script. We're gonna do, like, because I'm like, I kind of want Act 1 to be, like, introduction of magic, and introducing magic to the Third Nation, and the Third Nation kind of fracturing under that, and being, like, people wanting to go back and start the war now that they have magic, and it's like people that want to go back to the technological side and add this magic to their technology, people that want to go back to the magical side and fight, and then basically the end of the first act will be finding out as people go back to the magical society that they've basically been completely wiped out by the technological side because magic doesn't work anymore. Like, the magic that was originally there that worked through the goddess doesn't work anymore. So it's like, people are now kind of rallying to the religious side, because they're like, well, it's kind of not fair that the technology side took advantage of the fact that the religious side, you know, lost their magic. But then it's like, oh, people are saying, well, you know, technology doesn't always run smoothly, and the religious people have taken advantage of when technology doesn't go smoothly. So, you know, the one time your magic fucks up, we're all over that shit. And then it kind of creates this, like, political divide between it, and that's how it transitions into, like, Act 2. And then Act 2 is, like, kind of balancing out the war and learning about the past of the world and everything about the goddess and everything about the technology and how it came to be. And then finding out that the transition to the third act is that the leader of both of the nations are, like, best friends. It's basically been a fake proxy war up until the point that magic disappeared. And then basically the leader of the technology group couldn't stop his armies from attacking the magical guy, even though he, like, petitioned to try to stop it, because he's like, this is kind of unfair, let's wait, see what happens. But the entire military was like, nah, fuck this, we're wiping them out. Because it was basically an ideological war, right? And they're like, well, we have our entrance. I think I've seen this anime. And then, of course, the goddess turns out to be evil, and she was the one who was, like, pushing for war and the doctrine inside of the religious state, basically to say that, you know, technology was evil, anyone who didn't believe in her was bad, and she needed to extend her range. So it's like the aggressors were actually the religious people, and the reason for the invention of technology was to defend against magic for people that couldn't control magic. And then you have the huge fight of finding out that the goddess is bad, having the goddess released from the main character, and then the main character has to, like, fight the goddess, and all the rest of the fanatics that now got their powers back and stuff. So there's kind of, like, 3 arcs to go through it. But in the first arc, we need to have, like, 4 or 5 characters. We need the zombie character, we need a secondary, like, non-zombie type character that's like the main character. We need a second zombie, and we need, like, a couple of people that are just from the place, either from the technological city that, like, are neutral now, or from the religious city that are neutral now, and then people that want to go back. And we'll have, like, between the first and the second part, probably 10 or 15 characters. And then we'll explode characters out once we hit the third part with, like, you know, introducing all the high power fucking epic people that basically lost all their powers before, when the goddess was entombed inside of the main character. That's, like, where I'm at right now, but I don't know, we gotta work out how we're gonna have the characters introduced, how we're gonna have magic be revealed to people and find out. Because that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is we know magic is going to be used through weed, through the plague plants, but we don't know how people are going to discover that without the influence of the main character. So I think we have to go back to the drawing board and have the main character be like buddy-buddy with the people inside of like the sanctuary. Because right now I'm treating it like the character is trying to run away from the sanctuary, and it's just not tying the story together very well. So I think I need to go back. How does your magic work then with these plants? Every plant is a different spell, and every plant in the world has like a feature on it of something that it like does, right? Like they use it for like apothecary means, right? So then I have like a list of that I'm transitioning that into how they work in medicine to how that could relate to certain magics, and then just making a list of each plant is a different magic, and the size of the plant itself is like the scale of the magic, right? So like you've like little tiny like grass things that are like nothing. Do they smoke it for the magic? Yes. The smoke has to be inside of your lungs, and you have to say the name of the spell. That is the condition for casting a spell. So you have to inhale. Fireball! Right? And then there'll be a lot of different ways of people that, like, you know, where do the words or names come from? Basically, the main character. So when the main character smokes, the system in her head is gonna tell her what magic she's like able to use, and then through observation and just the loss of effort and control, the character basically loses control of the information and spreads it to other people, and other people start practicing, and then people are just like randomly smoking random plants, saying random words. No. There's the system that's like the Akashic field and the goddess. The goddess is trying to interrupt the Akashic field and not allow the Akashic field to tell the main character stuff. And that's where you get the feeling that there's something wrong with the goddess, because she just won't let Cash talk. And it's like anytime it seems like something important he's about to say, and she'll be like, you don't need to say that, don't worry about it. Okay, Hero isn't the only person connected to the Akashic field. No, the hero is. So inside of the hero is the hero in the Akashic field and the goddess, all in one personality, all in one body. But no one else has any of it. But the main character tells other people, and you can observe, like, when the main character uses, like, Hailstorm and all of that, like, all four of the spells at the same time, when she accidentally inhales the smoke, is, like, the moment where she's like, oh shit, what the fuck? And then everyone sees it happen, so they're, like, speculating on it and stuff, and then as time goes on, people start to figure more and more stuff out. But it's kind of like a slow burn with letting the magic develop. And it's mainly because the main character is talking to other characters about the magic, and then other people are like, oh, well, I want to try that. But the whole point is that everyone is getting addicted to weed. So that becomes the first pandemic, because everyone's like smoking and getting addicted to weed, and now they find out that weed can cast magic. And everyone's like, oh my fucking god, so shit is hitting the fan, and people are going fucking crazy over this. And accidental spells are being flung off like crazy. Yeah, won't work. If both are completely locked into one person, only spells she uses will ever be learned by other people watching her. Until people just start saying random words, and because there's so many spells, they can say random words, and it'll eventually activate a spell. So it's kind of like this trial and error once people understand the mechanics to activate it. Right? So you take, like, basically it's the combination of an element or an idea with something. How many verbal languages in your world? Is it the verbal word or the meaning conveyed? Aha! There is only one language. That is the thing. Or at least in the way that it's presented, you can't understand, like, it's like having subtitles in your head. Like, every character can understand different languages, even when speaking different languages, because of, like, intent. So sometimes there's a little bit off in how things are due to the, like, for instance, with the main character, because they don't have an understanding of this world, things get translated into their language, right? Like, into English. So they'll say, like, washing machine, and then they'll repeat washing machine, and nobody will have any idea what the fuck they're saying, because, like, the translation changes itself in the main character's head because of how it's interpreted. Does that make sense? Because I hate language barriers, so I try to put in any cop-out I can to make language barriers null and void. So it's like, you can tell that the main character knows the other characters aren't saying English, but she can understand what they're saying. And she knows that she's speaking English, but everyone else can understand what she says. So it's either in her head, or there's some sort of, or the goddess or the Akashic field itself is translating, but that's never explained. And it's just supposed to be left to be like, you know, oh, it has to be that way for the story to make sense, right? But that's how I think about it. They're both stuck in her head, though. Yes, but they can hear the outside world and, like, experience the external world through the main character. Right? So before, the Akashic Field was all-encompassing of the entirety of existence, but nobody could lock onto it. And then the keys were given to the main character. So the only translation happening is the main character's head. But it's the fact that it's happening through every other character. Right? That's the inference. That it's like, every character can just understand each other. But there doesn't need to be an overarching explanation for the language. It just is, deal with it. Right? So it would be like the idea of, yeah, but if both superpowers are locked into her head and have no external connection to that reality, but like they can see through her eyes, no one else would get the translations. But that's what I'm saying, Turner, is that it happens with everyone through the Akashic Field. Right? Like, the Akashic Field is connected to everyone and everything. Right? But the goddess used to be connected to everyone and everything, but now she's only connected to the main character. Yes, which means that Akashic Field only talks directly to the main character. That doesn't mean the Akashic Field doesn't interact in other ways to, like, translate inside people's heads, just to make language easier, right? Like, everything is, like, basically it's like group consciousness through the Akashic Field, but subconsciously. And the main character is the only person that can act through the Akashic Field consciously. Does that make more sense? 3, 2, 1, toke! The whole reason why the goddess is inside of the main character is because of the device that the leader of both the cities made. The device pulls consciousness from other dimensions. And their goal is to prove that the goddess is real. So they're basically trying to abduct the consciousnesses, or the goddess's consciousness. Which is what they succeed in doing with the main character. Just there's other side effects to that. the main character dies mid-transit, so they don't get put into someone else's body, they get re-put into their own body. The consciousness of the goddess is pulled into their body, as well as the fact that because their consciousness is connected to the goddess, it allows them to get connected to an Akashic field. All three of those things happen while they're in transit, which makes, like, the inciting incident of this character being like this, like, literally just a coincidence. It just happened to be the character that it happened to. Because that's just how the story starts. But that's why the main character isn't dead and isn't a zombie, but all the other people from different worlds are zombies. And that's what makes the main character think that maybe the other characters don't have the Akashic field in their head, don't have the goddess in their head, but, like, the Akashic field is like, I won't translate things that you say that are related to, like, hidden information. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like, it's a pick and choose, but, like, words, just random words, like, for instance, the spells, will be translated. But it's like, if the character tries to say, hey, I have the goddess inside of me, no one knows any idea what the fuck they're talking about. And then, like, just like other times there will be, like, communication errors and stuff, you'll just assume that it's like, oh, there's something about the communication in error. But it's actually the Akashic field purposefully not translating certain things, because, again, for plot purposes, you can't just have everyone know everything, right? And you have to have the main character trying to tell them without being able to tell them. And it has to go through, like, a proxy process through multiple characters of, like, telephone before it can get the right things. You have a lot of reveals? Well, yeah, but that's not all gonna be happening all at the same time. Like, you have no idea what's going on, right? We're on the 7th chapter, and the only thing you know is that the character has voices in their head, and they're really confused about it. That's really the only thing you know. It's just, like, the whole thing is, like, they got isekai'd, and they have voices in their head now. So it like, by taking all of the isekai tropes, it'll appear as if it's telling one type of story, because you'll be in the, like, headspace of a normal isekai, right? But as things get revealed out, you realize how more fucked up and more not an isekai it really is. Even though it contains basically every single trope that isekais would contain. But at the end of the day, it's consciousness and technology. That's the entirety of it. So it's like, where isekais generally don't get explained, this is literally fully scientifically explained how all of it occurs eventually. But the entirety of the first act will be like the slow, you know, people figuring things out. Especially the main character. Like, I need the main character to figure out smoking weed is what gave them magic. Right? And then that comes back to the plague plants. Because the plague plants are, like, the main thing. They're going to be trying to eradicate the plague plants, but the plague plants are the source of magic. So all of a sudden, this perspective on the plague plants being bad is kind of thrown out the window. And now everyone wants plague plants to infest basically everything. Because they're like, well, this will just give us more magic, which causes an even bigger epidemic, because basically all the trees and everything are getting fucked and turning into plague plants. And then it's like, basically that's creating the monsters in the world, because plague plants, when they devour something, they take on that thing's aspect. I cast Smoky Wheeze! 3, 2, 1, toe! So, you guys see any of the fucked up stuff from the Epstein files? I saw I saw something that was so fucked up. I don't even know what to say. Okay, apparently I didn't like it. Now I know the news. I'm an ostrich. I wonder if I can find it. Yeah. Why do you think that's redacted? What does that look like to you? It looks like, is it actually redacted, or they just highlight it black yet? As far as everyone can tell, this is a baby fetus. Or some sort of dead baby. That's a baby foot, and that's a scalp. Set between two pieces of fucking chicken. At least that's what it appears like. So they just don't do a good job with redacting shit, man. There's also like a bunch of reflections of people's faces, like on countertops and like on like walls or like in windows and stuff like that. Like holy fuck. Because people are like, well, why is this redacted? And it's like, oh, that's why it's redacted. But yeah, I don't know, man. The world's a fucked up place right now. Like, I've always believed in aliens, but I've never really believed in, like, how far this shit goes. But, man. Ooh, and especially, like, the whole, them talking about adrenochrome being the reason why they torture kids, because if you're, like, a kid, they extract your adrenaline and they make adrenochrome out of that, and then that's, like, the anti-aging pill. Kind of fucked up. Guys, I don't think I want to live in this world anymore, you know? Like, I liked it better when my conspiracy theories were conspiracy theories. You know, I liked it better when they were just ideas of coincidences stuck together. I like this world where all these conspiracy theories are, like, actually fucking true. Like, undeniably, definitively true. What's next? Definitive proof that 9/11 was fake? Oh wait, we already have that. We have so much proof that 9/11 was fake. And not evidence, proof. Taken from every context of everything. But anyways. Shall we move, since, Yuri, are you still here? Like, what's going on? Are we gonna read your stuff? Or are we gonna read Turner's first? I know I've been ranting for a while. We're about to hit the ad break, and, alright, perfect. Ignores Turner the entire time. Turner asks like 5 times, and then I ask, and you're like, yeah, I'm here. Feels bad, Turner. Feels bad. Editing stuff wasn't here first anyways. But yeah, but he said I could read yours. I told you you could go first. You really want me to get to chapter 10. So we're gonna wait for the ad break, and then, yeah, we'll get going. Yes, okay. So get yourself situated, get yourself ready, get yourself set. Let's get what we got, skis. While we're doing that, I'm going to set up for the videos for today. We didn't make any videos, but we have some to watch, because we have the possibility of a Mr. Ballin. So actually, let's just open that in a new tab, because we don't know about that. Do we have a new, this? No, we already did that. All right, Chubby Emu. Oh my god. If you guys don't know Chubby Emu, you gotta check out Chubby Emu. Chubby Emu. Oh shit! Thank you for the subscription. Holy shit, bro. Thank you so much for the subscription. Thank you for the subscribe. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Boys, I'll take care of these guys. Are you sure? There's an awful lot of them.
They hit me with a truck.
Told you I was saving my prime for you. Why, thank you, Turner. I appreciate it. Congratulations on getting your wings. Oh man, Brock is the fucking best. I don't know if I can find any. I swear there was another one other than Chubby Emu, but we can get through Chubby Emu. If you've never watched Chubby Emu, he's fucking awesome. Go check out the channel. Like, medical mysteries from a medical doctor explained in medical ways, and they're usually like fucked up stuff that like usually kills people or severely like fucks them up for life, and they're like warning stories of things not to do. So when as a woman took a friend's Ozempic and her entire gut was cooked. Damn, don't do Ozempic, guys. Ozempic bad. That shit bad for you. You don't want no Ozempic in your life. Oh. Getting to those ads, bring on my ads, and now Turner won't get ads, so you can get the ad song now. So if you hear the ad song, you know the ads are coming for you. But not for you, or you, or you, or the other yous that have yous with wings that can fly above the ads. Way up into the clouds, where you can still see the stream, but you don't have to deal with clouds. I mean, ads. Well, you can deal with clouds, because we like the cloud up in here. The cloud's a good one to be up in when we got, right? But we do what we can when we need what we got, so don't you worry, ads be what you're at. I'll tell you, you got ads, because ads ain't coming quite yet, but they're gonna be here, and when they do, oh, you know what it is. There you go. Now we got ads, so we can pull out the ads. When we have a tad bad ad, we go on a mad rat fad, because we don't like ads. I gotta figure out how to get this conversation out of this character. Beat it out of them. Tell me what you need to say or I'll crush your balls. Jesus, alright, man. Hoobaloo dooba dooba gababa doo doo dooba. Okay, was that good enough? Did you get that? Did you write that down? You mean to say it again? Too bad. Sucks to be you. I guess you're fucking crushing my balls. Fuck. I tried. Thoughts on the Epstein files that was just released. BBL Raccoon. My thoughts on it are this. Why is this redacted? Do really need them to do it. True. Problem is she shares the story with this character and the character wouldn't do something I need them to do. Lie about the story, Turner. Have her say something like 80% truth, but whatever part would stop him from doing what he does, have her lie to him about it because she's like considering. Please listen, Song Baka praise Batman. Okay.
Is now following.
True.
Thank you for following Forgy1.
True, Forgy, thank you. But yeah, BBL, does this look like a human foot to you?
Hi, sweetie. Hatred was just telling me he used to Arch Commander Consummate and thinks he'd be a perfect match for us.
I'm not that interested. Are you smoking?
Who?
You.
There you go, better.
Why?
A little
Why
bit
are you
bigger.
smoking?
baby.
What? When did you start smoking?
1989-ish.
So you
See, I don't know, and that's the thing, too.
sense the filled ashtray?
Is it edited? Why is it in there if it's edited? Why would they say it was edited? I hate the stupid PDF, EPUB text converters. They keep messing up. All I'm saying is this is the reason why, like, you can't trust the fucking government, man. So like, what are you supposed to do, right? What do you do at that point in time? Plus, like, the whole adrenochrome thing. Plus, like, you know, well, I don't know if your cream cheese and baby are one on the same level. It's okay, there's still enough time today. I'm trying to schedule priming. Fuel explosion. New engine startup video. Alright, so someone's blowing up. There are millions of babies. Very little good vegetable cream cheese. Okay. Song, it's so funny. Well, let's put a link. 4G, put a link in the chat so I can go to it. They fucking with us. Exactly. All I know is, I don't know about the world, because, like, I'm a conspiracy theorist, and, I don't like it when my conspiracies are, like, basically proven true. I like it when they're just, like, fun ideas, right? Like, next we're gonna find out that the Earth is hollow and that Agartha is real. Like, I'm not ready for that, man. I'm not ready for that. You know? Like, I believe in consciousness and everything, so everything's possible. But for it to be this reality that we live in now, to be connected to Agartha, and Agartha not just be an alternate reality, that's fucking crazy to me. And then, like, the time travel shit? What's up with the time travel shit? Who the fuck talks about time travel? Like, that... Like, that's the most... To me, that's the most interesting part, because I love quantum mechanics and science and understanding, and everything they say about time travel is basically, like, mainstream anime and science fiction understanding of time travel since, like, H.G. Wells' The Time Machine. Baka phrase, it's Serbian YouTuber, 3 million subscribers. Nice. But I'm also Canadian, so I'm like, who are the Canadians who are implicated? Are there any Canadians implicated? Because as far as I've seen, I haven't seen any Canadian government officials that, like, I recognize their names of. So I'm like, is Canada based? Or is Canada just way better at hiding it? I don't know. Or I'm just retarded. Or they're only talking about Americans because, you know, I don't listen to American news. I just listen to Twitter. Or, I mean, I don't listen to Canadian news specifically. I just listen to Twitter. So I get, like, basically no Canadian news other than Alberta separatists because I'm Albertan, and I want to be America's 51st state because basically I've been in BC and Alberta my entire life, and Canada as a whole has just completely taken advantage and fucked over these two provinces that are the heart of Canada. And then they fucking turn over all this bullshit on the other side on the East Coast, and it's like, no, I'm done with this. Bring on America already, let's go. 3, 2, 1, go!
je lej, moja braća su ti le, a ja sensei. Moji zalisci trofeji, s nama ne možeš da blejiš. Deda pušim 60 burazeru, a tvoj kevi. That's what we all about, ceo gang mi je blacked out. Kada uđeš nema out, šoda goat, no doubt. Fore nika crowd, Jiki Bao, ti si Mickey Mouse. Kurva cima oće clout, time out. Jači sam nego Batman, korak ispred interventne. Svaki dan su nove tenke, Lambo je žut, ali šarene su genge. Jači sam nego Batman, korak ispred interventne. Svaki dan su nove tenke, Lambo je žut, ali šarene su genge.
That's pretty legit. Yeah, I can get behind it. For sure. Alright. Are you guys ready for Yuri's story? I hope you'll have a horrible life. I'm Yuri and I'm ready. True. Chapter 8. Perfect plan. Perfect plan. Resolving everything without drawing any attention on myself. How can I do that? How can I... really need to make it perfect. I kept going in circles because no matter what I came up with, my ideas seemed imperfect and would inevitably end up with some sort of setback. Instead, shouldn't I just utilize the most probable plan and go for it? Either a full stop or an attempt at success. I'm gonna go for it after all. Sipping on an energy drink and having these thoughts was an interesting experience. Feeling villainous, but concurrently having the knowledge that I was a genuine criminal was laughable. It was actually enough to make me start laughing. The more I thought about it, the more I couldn't contain myself. Something overcame me once I thought to myself that I was feeling like a villain, but actually was an unironic criminal. Double-layered irony had me dying. I began hysterically laughing. I almost wanted to roll on the ground and give in to how funny it was to me. I didn't try to compose myself. Laughing came to a stop only once I ran out of energy. I was late a few minutes, and so once I came in, the same old formula welcomed me. Johan, wow, slept in a little, huh? Having an intuitive understanding of the situation. Passing by, yo, what's up, meow? How's it going? Welcome, welcome, broskies. What you doing? What you at? What you got? What's good? Complied and let out a 5-second giggle that gave out nothing but affirmation. Yeah, I actually did. As I said that, with giggles cutting the flow of my words, I sat down with a condescending smile. Whatever that shithead thought about my reaction, I was adamant about him not picking up the social cues in my voice. I clearly insinuated that he was a dumbass for constantly greeting me with foolish lines like that, and I didn't do it in a passive way. I asserted superiority. I was hoping it rubbed him the wrong way. I was hoping it made him resentful of me in a way that made him confused on why. Then, I noticed Kai was in the classroom. I sat a few desks behind him in this classroom, yet I walked straight past him and only noticed that he was there once I sat down. Immediately, I was curious. Did they give him a speech or anything along those lines once he came into the classroom? Whatever. Kai is almost irrelevant to me compared to the bastard. Once the first class was over, Abigail ran up to me and began talking about our conversation from yesterday. Her voice was full of enthusiasm in a way that denoted expectations. Her typical tone was much more mundane and indifferent. I'm guessing she expects us to get closer now. Kind of unspoken expectations I assumed she had for me were unrealistic and fantasy askew. People usually had them for celebrities or dead people. It was unlikely for her to explicitly imagine me acting a certain way or being some prince, but she couldn't help but expect me to become someone, having an overwhelmingly positive first experience interacting with me. It's probably common for people to generate these expectations from people, They know in person as well, but the difference is that they would inevitably get slapped by reality the moment those expectations were met with a contradiction of their fantasy. No, women are just bitches and they just can't understand nuance. I mean, what? Huh? For me, this was actually convenient. All I have to do is live up to her image of me. It's, however, incredibly frail and can shatter even after I deny a request to hang out, even telling her that I had to go yesterday. Could have been enough to make her fantasy swim up to the grim surface. Either way, I was willing to cultivate our relationship for the long-term benefits. Someone full of love is the perfect tool for me. For the rest of the day, I kept glancing at Virtuoso's Steam and patiently waiting for him to get online. Knowing that bastard didn't log in ever since that day was almost enough to confirm that Virtuoso wasn't aware of what had happened yet. The only worry being that they used something different to exchange messages. It was Friday. The reception desk in the hospital would probably have a different employee tomorrow. A few classes had passed and it was slowly turning to an uneventful day, with just talking to Abigail here and there. I did, however, pay extra attention to Kai. He's a passive, studious boy that doesn't particularly have any friends. The interesting bit is that people are snarky towards him. For a while I wondered why, but then came to a stop once realizing that I didn't have enough information to conclude things. Anything I could have surmised would have been quickly betrayed by new evidence. I really wanted to somehow find a way to talk to him, but simultaneously, I didn't know how to interact with someone of his type. Finding a way to start a conversation was just one of the few problems. I understood that I couldn't rely on traditional methods with someone like him. Suddenly, talking to him was not going to work. Whether he was an introvert or just socially anxious, barging into his personal space to start a conversation with would be nothing short of crime from his perspective. I was actually quite determined to talk to him today. We'll be having a math exam on Monday. He was acing everything related to history, but he was also studious in other subjects. So I, knowing that everyone was absorbed in their cliques and didn't pay attention, simply took out the biology textbook from his backpack when he was out of the classroom and just put it into mine. Next class, during biology, he immediately started panicking, scavenging through his backpack. I didn't have to hold back any laughter, but admittedly, I still found myself amused by his hysteria. Kai, is something wrong? Putting up a worried face and voice was nothing short of hilarious. I've never even talked to him before. Yeah, he said that in a slow, downhearted, but accepting way that didn't suggest any anger whatsoever. I was actually really surprised by that. I can't find my textbook. I almost felt bad for messing with him out of how passive and sweet he sounded. I was instantly confident that he didn't have multiple layers in the hiding. The contrast between him and myself made me feel a dim inferiority that, while slightly humiliating, at the same time didn't provoke any action from me. Are you sure you didn't leave it at home? No, I'm really careful with packing everything. Any idea where it could have gone then? Could you have left it in the previous classroom? I don't think so, but I can't find it, so I might as well have. He just said the last sentence. His tone felt genuinely sarcastic. I inferred that he didn't deny my question in order to conceal what the genuinely thought was going on. People are quick to talk about their misery, so I was honestly expecting for him to immediately voice how people are mean to him. Did he not do it out of awareness of that kind of approach is detrimental towards new relationships? Or did he consider it a weakness and so conceal it to appear more independent than he really is? Or perhaps nobody ever did anything more than act snarky towards him, and so he felt like he'd be unfairly victimized himself. I suggested that we sit together and use my textbook. The teacher was accepting and let us do it. Presumably out of gratitude, Kai indirectly hinted at me that I could copy his answers. Did he know that my grades weren't good? Or did he automatically assume that his grades were better than mine? Once the class was over and we parted ways, I went back to the previous classroom and put his textbook on the floor, with a note saying, "Idiot." Slowly but undeniably, I was getting close to my classmates, and then, during the break prior to the final class, Virtuoso went online. My heart rate spiked, and started burning with a criminal smile. I was gonna begin my farces yet again. End of chapter 8. Ooh. That was really a smart move, stealing the textbook. I like that. Like that shows this character is, like, very, very, ingenuitive. Like, they got this shit. I love it. And it's totally non-suspicious at all, either. Right? And now it's like, oh, well, now he's done that twice with two different people. And I love the contrast between his outward appearance and his inward dialogue. It's like, I can't wait for the moment for it to spill out. Is that what's going to happen? Well, I mean, it's kind of already happened with the bastard, but I'm guessing that's going to come back in chapter 10. But anyways, chapter 9. Johan. He actually, all I wanted was my money, and he, well, you should multiply a minute, mutilated my face. I didn't do anything to deserve this. Why me? Why did he do this to me? I hate my life. I want to die. I'm going to kill myself. Doctor said that my face would never recover to how it was, and just a surgery isn't even affordable. Even my teeth. Piece of shit. Everyone can go fucking die. I just wanted to live peacefully, and people just wouldn't leave me alone. What's so hard to understand? I don't fucking want anything to do with you. I'm so tired of this. I want to play games. I want to hurry and get home to play games. I hate every... Knock, knock. It's a nurse. What does she want? Hello, Andrew. Hello. How are you feeling? I've been feeling better. It still hurts to even speak. It's a lie. I just don't want her to bother me. Oh, that's good. Your friend Sean was here earlier and wanted to see you, but we couldn't let him in because your parents didn't give permission for visitors yet. Immediately, I felt uncomfortable. I didn't tell Sean what happened yet because I didn't have access to Wi-Fi. My parents, did they tell him? For just a moment, I couldn't breathe. Then I exhaled and began calming down. I'm so paranoid. Obviously it was my parents, although I'll still ask her to make sure. Can you tell me how he looked? I don't know, but I can ask the reception lady. Please ask her. Oh, okay, sure. I didn't tell anyone what happened. How could I? I got a concussion from a single punch, and even my face got permanently disfigured. I'm afraid. They told me I was found next to the hospital, but he's probably apprehensive of me telling someone. What if he wants to kill me? It's probably just paranoia speaking, but I can't. This is making me go insane. I want to die. He's completely insane. I started tearing up as all these thoughts began invading my mind. I was overwhelmingly paranoid, anxious, and depressed. My life has always been shit. And then, when I thought I couldn't get any worse, it did. People spreading shit about me. Fuck you. Fuck Johan. Fuck whoever spread that rumor. Fuck everyone. I hate everyone. I continued, wallowing in complete misery and self-pity, and then once 2 hours had passed, she knocked and came in again. Hello again, Andrew. Hi. So, the reception lady didn't remember clearly, but from what she did remember, it was a short, Asian guy with black hair, and he wore glasses. I could feel weights getting lifted off of me as she awkwardly described him, quickly having my expression change from dread to an excited smile. Please let him in next time. I'll call my parents right now. Forgetting all my pain, I called my parents, and I called my mother and told her that I wanted them to permit the visit. Playing games with Sean was my escape, my happiness, my only friend. I could be myself with him. I didn't have to deal with this shitty reality that is my life. Next morning, a different nurse came in while I slept, waking me up. Andrew, your friend is here to visit you. My sleepiness died in an instant when my eyes sparked with excitement, and then Johan came in with eyes resembling the devil himself. Oh, shit. Oh. I like this. I like this. For the time for peak. Alright, here we go. Once I saw the virtuoso, went online. I excused myself from... Oh, there's like the thing that separates, like, you know, perspective. So now we're back in Johan's perspective, just to make that clear. Once I saw that Virtuoso went online, I excused myself from the final class and left without saying a word. Abigail was confused, but the value of her concern was irrelevant to me. As I walked towards the hospital, I added Virtuoso as a friend while having a completely private Steam account. The gist was that he couldn't see that we didn't actually have any mutual friends. I commented on his profile that I was someone that knew his friend Andrew, and just minutes later he accepted. Hey, I know it's sudden, but I was told to let you know. Andrew was in an accident and now he's in the hospital. I don't know the details, I just had to tell you. I could see that he was typing, but I one-sidedly logged off after sending the message. From his perspective, it's fair to assume that the purpose for replying had died the moment I logged off. It was probably suspicious, but simultaneously I actually didn't care, because I was using one of the bastard's dog pictures from Instagram. With how everything looked, he probably fell for my trap and thought I was a family member. Admittedly, I was in the dark when it came to a lot of things, and so consequently everything relied on probable guesses, which was inefficient, but also all I had. I had to wait near the entrance rather than inside. The hospital was relatively small, and it didn't have any big open spaces. Having to wait for hours wasn't pleasant. The visiting closing time was 2000. Ultimately, only 3 people that looked close to our age visited the hospital without anyone else's company, and just one of them had left minutes after entering. Immediately, I took a bus to the supermarket and just in time bought a black-haired wig. I would have bought a black one much earlier because of the probability that it was the one, but unfortunately I stopped having time to spare ever since the devil dragged me into his farces. That said, seeing everything go accordingly was euphoric. Now all I had to do was visit as early as possible tomorrow morning. Since hospitals are always understaffed during weekends, in all likelihood, the receptionist person would be a different one than the one during business days. Even if Bastard gave instructions that his friend had to look like this and that, it would be, ultimately, completely pointless, since, to a different reception desk employee, it would all come down to visitors being allowed. The next morning, I took up contact lenses while wearing homely clothes. Probably unnecessary, but I wanted to completely conceal my identity. Then I took an item. By the time I was in the hospital, it was still too early, and so I had to wait an hour until the visiting time. Farcically, I posed myself as Jin. I couldn't resist the comical irony of the name and the situation. As I walked towards Bastard's room, the entire time I contemplated my options for what I'd do to him. I ran into a nurse on the way, and she asked me whom I was visiting. A gentle tone, I told her my dear friend, Andrew. She accompanied me all the way, and once she woke him up and left the room, I came in and couldn't help myself, but may my hatred for the man that caused so many problems materialize. Ah, shit, and of course, that's where Chapter 9 ends. Now I see why you said Chapter 10 is so important. Played the system. He knows what he's doing! Motherfucker knows what he's doing! He's a smart guy. He understands. He can get around the stuff. Woo! Oh, I love it. Alright, so we're now ready for Turner's Chapter 8. I need a snack. All right, sounds good. We got an ad going on in a bit here, so we're just gonna chill. Damn, this is a fucking chapter. Alright, I'm gonna go grab a snack too. I'll be right back. And I'm gonna grab a drink too. Boy! Homemade Turner Family Chex Mix. Ooh, wait. You're not reading chapter 10 yet? No, you said we stop on chapter 10. And then we read chapter 10 tomorrow. You said chapter 10 was the big chapter. That's why we read 3 chapters yesterday. Ads! Fucking ads. Oh, I meant stop as in after you finish it. That's okay too, I guess. Oh. But I mean, that was a good cliffhanger, and then we get chapter 10 tomorrow. And it's like all the hype that's building up to it, and now we know what's gonna happen, but we don't know what's gonna happen. We know the scenario, but we don't know what's the outcome. All ties, it ties all the first 10 chapters. Makes sense. Eat this. Eat this. Whose story? Yo, Fish, what's up? This is Turner's story. It's a sci-fi story. First contact with aliens in the year 2300-ish. I'm just eating a Nutri-Grain bar. We'll get to know Turner. He's a new viewer. Well, kicking it out another 100 years or so. I haven't decided yet. I'd rather get to know what method you use to shave. Okay.
We knew that the shaving industry was sort of intentionally broken, it feels like. It almost feels like product is made to not win. You've got your safety razors with a lot of blade exposure, and you've got your cartridge razors that are almost designed to fail. You know, even after you use them, they fill up with hair and they don't unclog really easily. And we're all kind of just these pawns in the game of who can sell somebody the most product that they know is going to fail so that they buy more product. And so myself and my brothers, when we decided that this was something that we wanted to do, we knew we wanted to make Henson. And the idea is that if somebody could just make it properly, you know, maybe you don't have the reoccurring revenue from a user, but at the end of the day, if you can sell a razor to a whole bunch of people, then maybe we win. So we decided to create the Henson razor. And a lot of thought went into this design. This is a design that requires accuracy. We knew that if we made it accurate enough, then people could get a shave that they've never felt before. And it's that shave and it's that accuracy that has really set this apart. It truly gives an experience like you've never felt. We've got novice shavers who've had skin irritation, who have gone a really long time in their life having to plan ahead and shave ahead of time so their skin gets time to calm down, say before their wedding or on prom night, or
I'll show you guys it after the ad.
Going out for a night on the town, they got to shave the day before to give their skin a chance to really calm down.
Here, I'll show you guys since yesterday.
And this is totally avoidable. We knew that if we made a product with a great design that was accurately made and that was consistent, we knew we could solve this. Using all these tools here at our plants in Ontario, Canada,
as fuck.
we really wanted to make a product that everybody would like. We wanted to make something that was great and that didn't have a planned expiry date. And it didn't have
You wax
razor
your armpits?
subscriptions you
I don't
needed
need to. It
sign
takes
up
like
for in
3
order for us to
seconds.
make a whole bunch of money.
You just use if
knew
it's
that if
grown
we
out, you
priced
just
it
use an
fairly
electric razor
and
to
we
trim
made
it
it well,
down,
and people
and then
would
you just
love
go
it.
for it.
And that's exactly the response that
I
this
shaved
has
my
had on the
armpits because
market
I
so
did
far.
makeup
So
day
take
yesterday.
your time, have a look, and we hope you like it.
So I'll go grab mine and show you guys. It's great. No, not usually. Unless like I'm having someone over or something. The easiest, like, most simple, basic thing. And then you just replace the razors. And I got 100 razors for free. So I have, and I use one razor per shave, and I shave once a month, basically. So that's like 10 years. And the thing itself is like $80. And that $80 Canadian, and then each razor blade is 10 cents. And you get like... And this is like 36 hours later. Right? Something like that. Can always have these online converters keep cutting chapters and doing dumb shit, and I can't make it work no matter what. That sucks. I'm just gonna go put this back. Yeah, if you want the good shit, get yourself a Henson. That shit'll last you. It's literally made in a aerospace lab where they make parts of the space station. Completely aerodynamically engineered. And I already have sensitive skin and stuff, so it definitely helps. But yeah, definitely highly recommend them. Highly recommend Henson. Why do you do it then? Wait, shave my armpits? So that when I'm wearing skimpy clothes, I don't have hairy armpits. What do you mean, Fish? Wonder if it would be good for on my wife's legs. Yeah, you know who promotes it? Do you know Shoe on Head? I don't know what you're talking about, Fish. I meant, why do you shave them when you have someone visiting? Because if I have someone over, then I'm probably going to fuck them. And if I'm going to fuck them, I don't want any hair from the eyebrows down. Why would you even ask that, Fish? What? Well, that's the answer. Alright, let's get a tote going here, guys. Three, two, one, tote! Being jealous is not my nature, bitch.
Short 101 is now following.
Thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it.
We're enjoying the stream less than 3
Hi,
clicks.
sweetie. Hatred was just telling me he used to Arch Commander Consummate and thinks he'd be a perfect match for us.
All right. Are we ready to get into this chapter?
Smoking?
Oh,
You.
why?
Why are you smoking?
Maybe.
Yo, what you up to? What you doing? What you at? What you got?
Been lying. Now it makes sense. The filled ashtrays, the burning pines.
You got the creativity, you got the imagination, you got the understanding, you have the stories to tell us. Alright, here we go. This is Turner's Story, Chapter 8, From Esmeralda with Love. Good morning. I called this meeting because some concerns were raised with how we're handling first contact and government involvement. We also have new orders. You may know my distaste for politics in general. Some of you may know about my penchant for ignoring others. I've spent more years throwing rocks at CSF ships than I have captaining them, all because of what those politicians say without regards to the lives they affect. In my defense, I've also not thrown rocks when I've been ordered to, but I wanted all of you to know Congress had forced on us. These are direct quotes from our orders. Emil let his eyes rest briefly on each of the gathered officers around the long table in the command galley. It was a medium-sized meeting in dining room just a few meters from the main mess hall. They were familiar faces. A good portion of them were hand-picked or influenced by his recommendations to the fleet when he negotiated command of Aesop 8. Emil read the transcript from the transmission from Valen, starting with, "I'm the Koji son of a bitch," and ending with, "Do their fucking jobs competently." Excuse me. He goes on to say that he's too old for bullshit, and I've decided that there is at least one politician that I like. Yo, what's up, Fennec? Should have heard your fudge, but died good egg herb dis good is v jugus good food. Yeah, I did it! This is Turner's story. You caught us just in time, Fennec. How you doing today? What you up to? W. Scotty, thank you. I try. Sometimes I do try, guys, okay? Most of the team leads had a good chuckle during Emil's recitation of their orders. A few, like M.A. Vintner, were ruffled about ignoring orders from the fleet and remained stoic throughout, but it was well received. Nothing more, and it's my grandpa's birthday. Ooh, interesting. You mean no more chapters? Emil knew his crew. Many of them drank too much, goofed off most of the time, or were only barely qualified for their positions. MA is an abbreviation used on ships for Master at Arms, although there's a chance his rank changes in the future draft. I meant nothing much. Ah, nothing much. I see, okay. See, English is a really annoying language, isn't it, Fennec? Is Korean as annoying as English is? Because I gotta imagine Korean isn't as annoying. Because I can't imagine a language that's more annoying than English. I checked the first contact manual and the congressional charter. I found the situation is, in fact, covered. No, super easy. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. A lot of Asian languages are like, they look complicated, but they're actually like super easy once you understand the basics, right? Like Chinese looks complicated, but it's until you realize that each individual picture is actually like a sentence, right? And it's like not just individual words, but entire meanings with words combined together, because words are placed inside the lines of something. Same with like kanji, right? Like a kanji will be a connection of two different ideas, right? To create like a final product. But China takes that to a whole new extreme. Like I will say my name, aka Fennec Fox, in Korean. Whereas like the only thing which I still find fascinating, that all the Asian languages and all the Asian accents are devoid of the ability to say L. I don't know, it's just a fascination with me. That looks like two lines with an L1, with a space alien, and a person. That's crazy. Only thing I know about Korea is StarCraft. And names. I thought they look like Call of Duty badges. I mean, yeah, you could say that. Scotty, what's my name? What's my name in Korean? Because in Japanese it's Sukoto. In times of significant communications lag, blackout, or inability to communicate with governmental bodies, a representative is chosen with the highest diplomatic oh no, please don't tell me who it's going to be, credentials. Within 4 hours lag time to act as potential proxy to the government bodies. Oh god, it can't be. It can't be. Sugoto. Interesting. There, that's how. Language is a very interesting thing. T makes sense. Anything you need, I can do Korean. Language-wise. I was like... I was gonna be like, do you have an older sister who's over 18? I need me an ABG. Also, a couple of Korean first names would be helpful. Is Cho a common last name in Korean? Oh yeah, Cho is an extremely common last name. I think there's like 4 or 5 StarCraft players that have like Cho as their last name. Kim Sung-bok. I'm pretty sure that's Flash's name. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's Flash's name. Comms can give you a detailed list of the conflicting orders we've received since our original Mayday. They're confusing, to be quite honest. I've just been ignoring the ones I didn't like, and I will probably continue to do so. Tor's Valen has authorized us to give the data pad to the aliens. Since Valen's message, I've received orders from Earth, Mars, and Fleet. Earth said no, Mars said yes, Fleet said wait for a congressional vote. At this point, I'm just waiting for someone in the belt to order me to give them 2 data pads. Valen has the highest diplomatic credentials within 4 hours lag time and gave me orders to ignore orders other than his own. As I said, there is at least one politician that I like. At 1500 today, Chief Zimmer... 1500 today, Chief Zimmer, Master Vintner, and I will be going EVA with this data pad. We won't have a wireless chip, so it's going to have limited storage. Other than some dictionaries, we need to decide what else to include. Anything you think should be included. You have until 1300 to get your files or suggestions to media. We can't give them everything, and they don't seem to like using radios. But maybe we can give them enough to make communicating easier. We just have to trust that. With the information we give them, they can come up with something better than silent movies. Any questions or concerns? The meeting only lasted an additional 30 minutes, primarily used to discuss exact storage limitations, clarification on the scientific focus, and the most useful information for communication purposes. Once a dialogue or exchange could be established, much more would be shared. Unfortunately, no one in the belt has ever sent orders for 2 data pads. Oda, thank you very much. It would have been better if they had though. The team left the command galley to make their selections and gather their files, leaving only the captain, the chief, and the master at arms. Emil had not told either of them before the meeting that they would be joining him on the EVA. I know what you ought to do to get us some shut-eye, Craig, but I wanted to cover a few things with you and Elijah first. Between the three of us, we represent the highest ranked Earth-born colonial and upper. I grew up on Mars, but I wasn't born there. Optics, Elijah Wittner said. I'm doing this for Fleet's public image. Screw that, you both earned this. Both of the men looked slightly surprised by the declaration, and Emil continued. Earth, the colonies, and the belt can't get their shit together long enough to even give us straight orders. I didn't pick either of you for this boat. You are foisted on me. And in a year, I've had nothing to complain about except maybe one too many hangovers, most of which I caused. We've met aliens. I, for one, would like to not be acting like the Three Stooges. Stooges? Craig asked. Old Earth comedians, friends, but with physical violence as humor, Elijah answered. But how do you know about them? My grandmother had a thing for classics. She'd have loved Daniel. They could have talked about science fiction till they emptied the drome. Emil scratched at his bushy gray beard. Point is, we're here and we're not just tolerating each other. We're tolerating each other while drunk, which is 3/4 of the way to being friends. If we'd known each other then, maybe we'd have thrown less rocks, Ellie said. Well, I wouldn't say that, Emil countered. And now we're going to throw a data pad at an alien ship, Craig replied. I had intended it to be a little more gentle than this time, Emil said. I got Scat Man. Oh, I didn't see it. I need to fix that, man. I am so bad at this shit.
I'm a scat man. I'm a scat man.
No, I'm retarded. It doesn't give me a warning. Panic after I'm done reading Turner's story. Then we can do that.
As a matter of fact, I don't let nothing hold you back. The scat man can do it, so can you. Everybody's saying that the scat man stutters but does and never stutter when he sings. But what you don't know, I'm gonna tell you right now that the stutter and the scat is the same thing. Yo, I'm the scat man. Where's the scat man? I'm the scat man. Why should we be pleasing any politician? Reasons would try to cheat the seasons if they could. The state of the condition insults my intuition, and it only makes me crazy and hard like wood. Everybody stutters one way or the other, so check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, don't let nothing hold you back. If the scat man can do it, brother, so can you. I'm the scat man. Everybody stutters one way or the other, so check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, I don't let nothing hold you back. If the scat man can do it, so can you. I hear you all ask out the meaning of scat, while I'm the professor, and all I can tell you is while you're still sleeping, the saints are still weeping, because things you call dead haven't yet had the chance to be born. I'm the scat man. Where's the scat man? I'm a scat man. Repeat after me. It's a Scooby-Dooby melody. I'm the scat man. Sing along with me. It's a Scooby-Dooby melody. Yeah, I'm a scat man. I'm a scat man.
True. All right. And now we're going to throw a datapad at an alien ship, Craig replied. I'd intended to be a little more gentle this time, Emil said. But I'm not wearing a fleet standard suit. I'm wearing my own. Use your own if you got 'em. I got mine, Craig Zimmer said as he turned to Elijah. I've only ever used fleet issued. I suspected and was hoping you'd be pomp anyways, Ellie, Emil noted. If all of us were out of uniform, fleet would probably blow a seal anyways. But no weapons, not even decorative. I've got to remove a couple of spikes, a safety knife, and a couple of choice patches with less than diplomatic phrases on them. I wanted to give you both ample time to prepare if you need it. Holster with no weapon, Elijah asked, and he caused both Chief and Captain to stop to think about it. It was the Chief who finally spoke. We are not unarmed, and not all of us are peaceful. Emil took a breath and exhaled slowly. It was a line from Dan's attempted documentary. Holsters held guns, and there was one made specifically for holding either mercy or authority while in EVA. During peace talks after the skirmishes, it was a symbolic tradition to wear the holsters, but not the weapon. The aliens wouldn't necessarily know what the empty holsters was for, or what it meant, but it would send a clear message back, sunward. You okay being Fleet's poster child for the foreseeable future? Emil asked. Yes, sir. Then I've got no problem. I'm heading down to media to get the wireless yanked out. Dan okay? Craig asked. You both familiar with Cracked? They both nodded. Good, then I don't have to explain. Speaking of, what about Amos? Reprimanded, logged, warned, but civil, Elijah answered. I'll talk to Dan about it. I prefer not to have that kind of shit officially filed while we're under the microscope. I don't want him near Dan again. No coincidence he cracked the same day Amos got physical. I'd expect a hopper like him to know when it's gone too far and someone's about to snap. And the teardrop sites, Craig said. Emil sighed loudly. They're both still in lockboxes and size not logged anything, Elijah offered. I'll mention it to him. Ads! Fuck! Why the ads? Why the ads? Why the ads? The ads? Why? The ads? Oh, God. Eat your ads! Consume your ads! Don't forget to take your ads! Always gotta have some ads. Do you want some ads with those ads? I can put more ads on the ads. If you ask for more ads, you get ads before you ask. Oh, how you ask for them ads, I'll tell you what I found what you got for what you do with ads. I'll put them on you, eat that what does with ads. If your oatmeal don't have ads in it, I don't know what to tell you. You ain't eating what you think you do when ads aren't in your food. I'll mention it to him, but it's probably not an issue. I'm thinking it's family knowledge. A couple of gens back, his family had to deal with some heavy shit on a transport. Choose who gets to breathe heavy shit. It's in his extended personal file. Still, it's protocol, Craig said. I thought Ellie was supposed to be the hard ass. I'm not yelling at some kid who happened to voice an uncomfortable truth while he was breaking down. I don't disagree, sir. I like you better when you're not sober, Craig, Emil joked. Yes, sir, I will get right on that, sir, Craig smiled. Emil shook his head and matched the chief's smile as he turned to leave the gallery. He turned to the hab ring and made for the Hall C elevator. Captain Rodriguez checked the time and knocked on the door to Media enter. Enter! Emil stepped through and gave the quarters an appraising glance. With a nod, Dan was not sure if he knew Ed had cleaned it, but he got up from his bunk quickly and stood at what he assumed was attention. Although he'd never been trained to do anything like that before, he gave Emil a slight smile. Specialist Paulson, please have a seat. There are a lot of things I need to say, and I don't have a lot of time to say them, and not all of them are strictly speaking official. Dan sat back down, and Emil paced slowly and cleared his throat. It's come to my attention that you believe you've been fired, and you have not, but you're on the very thin ice, I believe is the Earth phrase. Your narrated documentary was transmitted sunward, and there's every chance intercepted by the aliens as well. It was a mistake at the absolutely worst possible moment in human history. Emil paused. But it was an honest mistake, and honesty is what you gave me in our meeting earlier that day. Fleet wants you removed from duty. Thankfully, I do not. After a pause, Emil turned and started walking to the other direction. Regarding the incident with Security Officer Amos Stahl, he's been reprimanded for his assault. Under normal circumstances, it would be the civil charges. However, given the nature of the sensor ghost and the arrival of the aliens, I'm asking you to hold on to those charges until a later date, when we're not center stage of humanity's first contact. Emil stopped and looked at Paulson, raising his eyebrows, waiting for a reply. No charges, sir, I understand. Thank you, Mr. Paulson. Third, in your capacity as media, I need you to remove my datapad's wireless connectivity and begin loading educational materials into its memory. A list of, or possibly specific files will be provided by other departments. Dan got up from his bunk without a word, pulled open a bin from underneath it that had a tool kit, and moved to his desk. Emil stepped back and placed his datapad on the desk. From what I've been told, you are usually more talkative than this. Sorry, sir. Just glad to have a job still. I'm guessing datapad gift got approved? It did, Lieutenant Decker informed me of your conversation last evening. Seems your love of science fiction has its benefits. Thank you, sir, but you understood Darmok. Emil smiled and relaxed a little bit, letting the casual Hopper drawl humanize his voice. Bella, she loved aliens, used to work for a research group on Mars. Find the aliens type stuff. She only let me watch old Earth vids when I stayed at her apartment. Said it would teach me more about being human than the AI-generated drivel. She loved Trek. I always thought of it as the hope humanity's had, sir. Spanish for grandmother. Ah! For what it's worth, Dan, your documentary, your voiceover wasn't that bad. It had darkness because it had truth and honesty, and a bit too much for much fear-mongering drama and kissing for a suitably proper first contact situation. But you aren't wrong. I mean, the men and women who will insist on arming ships now. Emil cleared his throat again and watched as Dan worked on the datapad with skill and efficiency. This kid could surprise him. Surprised him during prank week when the evidence finally came out that he was the phantom prank master who terrorized practically every team lead. Right now, he was disassembling the datapad like it was instinctual. Smooth, efficient, precise motions. Using his official captain voice again, he continued. I've been ordered to investigate your knowledge of mercy and authority. Your description was poetic, to say the least. Coming from personal experience, Fleet doesn't want anyone posting pictures of them or mentioning the top-tier drop sites. Dan jerked to a complete stop, dropping the small screwdriver he was using. Emil caught it from the spiral course of the floor and leaned to hold it near him. When I was 15, I took a picture of one on a local transport out of Kreese, where we got back a couple days later. They had the local recruiters throw me in a cell for a night and scream at me in an integration room for 8 hours the next day. They take it seriously. I'll need to file a report with exactly how you knew about it. But as with the situation with Amos, I'm gonna do that later. When you're ready to share the story, I'll be ready to listen. But we've got other things more important right now. Dan took the screwdriver and began sealing up the datapad again, his hands shaking, having difficulty getting the screws back into the threads. Emil rested his hand on Dan's shoulder. Mercy and authority are burdens, even stories of them. I saw your family history, and we've met others who got horror stories as kids that made space uncomfortable for them. Just don't mention them again, and when you're ready, we'll talk. Dan nodded to himself. Cap knew family history then. Probably didn't know Dan had seen the tears much more recently, though. On a brighter note, your duties are expanding to include ship cameras, microphones, and recording equipment. The production quality of your documentary was good. Sai's already adjusted your system permissions to include the external cameras. And, should talks come on board, then access to internal systems can also be granted. Document everything you can, and after a pause. But no more narrating, agreed? Yes, sir, thank you, sir. Dan couldn't believe it. Half because he thought he already had access to all the cameras, or at least most of them, but also that he actually had a job to do, an important job to do during first contact. Even though all he could think about to begin was what his documentary he'd forgotten about actual reporters. How else did all those documentaries get all the B-roll of handshakes and signatures? Emil bent closer to him. And no more hacking my ship, or I'll let Sai start pressing the charges he's been begging me to recognize since launch. If you need additional access, ask for it. Submit the reason and purpose for that formally, and we can discuss it. Yes, sir. That's all I needed to talk about. I'm leaving my pad here for you to load the data. I'll pick it up later. The scheduled handoff is at 1500. Captain opened the door to leave. Sir? Yes, Specialist Paulson. What about the ads and privacy history? It would be difficult to explain why those records just started showing in the logs again. Keep the ads off my screens and we can address that issue. Emil grinned. Later. Just before 3 o'clock that afternoon, Captain Rodriguez, accompanied by the Master-at-Arms and Chief of the Watch, exited the airlock into the port cargo bay. Standing together in the center of the bay doors retracted overhead, their suits were illuminated by the cargo arm. Several cameras zoomed in on them. They moved together towards the edge of the bay, now exposed to vacuum, and the cargo arm followed them like a spotlight. Master-at-Arms Vintner wore a pristine CSF suit, white with thin decorative armor. At his hip was an empty wire and rubber holster. Captain Rodriguez wore black, and Chief Zimmer wore pale sky blue. They were more than just different colors. They were decorated, personalized, covered in everything from grease and asteroid dust to painted art. A bit of a tradition among the humans from places other than Earth. My first chapter of Dreams of Reality. It's short as fuck, though. Is this the new story? Alright, I'll have to check it out when we're done with this one then, Fennec. Captain Rodriguez's suit had been deep forest green at some point long ago. It was aged and dirty, now practically black with decades of asteroid dust. It had been patched multiple times in different ways. It had extra pockets, mounts, and more than its fair share of grease. But the seals shone brightly, maintained religiously, and improved regularly, although never actually cleaned. Something not uncommon among hoppers. Chief Zimmer's suit was a pale sky blue with white and red filigree on prominent edges. It was adorned with small hand-painted artwork that showed vistas from multiple colonies. Zimmer was from Luna, so there were large paintings of the Shackleton domes, and an Earthrise on the chest pieces that had been there for years. The paint on the newest edition sizzled as vacuum boiled off solvents. Smaller, far fewer illustrations adorned the arms and legs, and had been added depicting scenes from Mars, Europa, and Ceres. Even though some people argued Ceres belonged to the Hoppers, each of them painted by members of Chief's night crew on the bridge. He woke all of them up to assist in the task. They didn't mind. At this point, only the very young were sleeping aboard the Asteris right now. Groups had formed around larger displays in the mess hall and bridge. They would have used the observatory, but someone had ripped all the projectors out earlier that week. Inconsiderate vandals. With as much grace as any Hopper had, which was usually quite a bit more than most Earthers, or collies, Captain Rodriguez kicked off from the bay. M.A. Vintner and Chief Zimmer joined him, using their suit propulsion to match his velocity. When they had traveled a quarter of the distance to the alien vessel, they looked at each other and decelerated to a stop. Captain Rodriguez continued to drift, only using a single short burst of his propulsion to come to a stop halfway between the two ships. Emil extended his arm, holding a datapad loaded with textbooks, visual encyclopedias, and a dictionary selected by the brightest minds aboard the Astraeus. It was missing a lot of important things about humanity. There had no music other than the pre-programmed ringtones. It had no entertainment installed unless you count tech tutorials and universal lecture videos. Quite frankly, as I've said, the Astraeus' crew were not the best humanity had to offer, so there were some other glaringly important items missing. Although it did have 32 messages written by Esmeralda Maria Rodriguez, each written as greetings to alien species, same ones that Congress had yet to approve to be transmitted, same ones Emil had been transmitting from every ship he ever commanded, same ones he'd had ESOP 8 use as test transmissions. In his defense, his Abula did not have any faith in the CSF Postal Service either. The only concession for security's sake. The pad's wireless connection circuitry had been removed. Not intended as a message in and of itself, primarily a safety concern. In the hollow that was created by the removal of the circuitry, a folded handwritten note was tucked. It had, "Thank you for your patience," written in all 18 languages available to the crew. And a file path to a video of engineer Aaron Keel stored on the datapad, signing the same. That was actually Marcy's idea. Dan had to disassemble and reassemble the pad last minute to get it in. Marcy's sister is an elementary school teacher on Earth. Human primary school teachers, and by extension their families, are generally more prone to personalized group projects. But at least this one did not include glitter. If you're not familiar with it, it's a statically charged parametallic particulate used in decorations, which sounds innocuous enough, but it most definitely is not. Can you imagine glitter in space? Holy fuck. Glitter in space would be the worst disaster humanity has ever created. It's historically been used on Earth for decoration, questionable art, non-lethal explosives, fireworks, and children's parties. If you do not have personal experience with it, avoid it and hope that a human never gives it to you. It is particularly impossible to get rid of once it's in your ship. Efforts are still underway to have the substance banned from interstellar travel. Glitter or no, the hard-written note was quaint, but utterly confusing to the crew of the alien vessel, who spent considerably more time analyzing the meaning behind the chip removal and included more than they did reverse engineering the rest of the pad and its sorted data. Captain floated there in the black, his arm extended with the datapad, and released it gently with as little inertia as he could. Dan watched silently in awe as he controlled the multiple external cameras, as well as some of the observatory he had never had access to before. WW King, yo, what's up? True Chris, welcome. What you doing, man? What you at? What you got? We here, we at it, we doing it, I'll tell you that right now. He recorded everything. He expected some bright beam to shine and pull the pad to the alien vessel. No one expected a small circular opening to appear under the bulbous wing. A light turned on in the cavity beneath the wing. Dan noticed almost immediately and repositioned several cameras, including one of the observatory's high-resolution cameras he'd only recently gotten access to. Three very different figures, were silhouetted in pale blue and green light. One small, the same size and shape as a human. One slightly taller and thinner, hunched over, with longer arms and legs. The third stayed the farthest back and was easily double the size of the other two, hunched with no apparent head, just all shoulders. Who's next? Next is Fennec, which is Void. If you don't know, Fennec is Void Fish. They did not all approach, perhaps their own hierarchy or procedures for such things, but the smallest, the most human-like, moved closer. The alien wore what appeared to be a form-fitting suit that shimmered like bismuth once it left the small hollow. They wore a helmet that obscured the face entirely behind a gold reflective sheen. Both the suit and helmet had decorative ridges and light-emitting silvery accents, like filigree on official fleet documents or some ethereal script. Dan thought that it was hard to focus on and appeared to move. The alien visitor just moved, floated. They hadn't kicked off. There was no propellant. They just slowly shimmered in a dull purple aura. It was difficult to really define any color because of how vibrantly the suit shimmered. When the alien was only a few meters away, Captain Rodriguez became immediately aware of several unexpected observations. First, the form that the suit protected was decidedly female by human standards. Emil felt better about his choice of suit when he saw what looked suspiciously like a grease stain on the right thigh. Emil wondered what made the stain, what machinery or accident marked this alien woman's vivid suit. Second, when she stopped 2 meters from him and took the datapad in one hand, she had 5 fingers, in a startling similarity. They floated there together for only a few seconds, but each was spent looking at the other, comparing similar features, similar shapes. The moment Emil started to feel uncomfortable with what was supposed to happen next, she moved her other hand to tap where the center of her forehead would be on a human, and rotated her wrist out and away from her body in a gesture strikingly similar to a wave. Third, and most profoundly, after that gesture, he realized that he had just hand-delivered his grandmother's life's work to the intended recipient. He swelled with pride, a sense of real, overwhelming accomplishment. He couldn't hold back the tears. Too many feelings, too many thoughts to sort out right now, right here. So he mimicked the alien's gesture, a moment later, sharing a simple human wave. The time felt slowed as both alien and human drifted back towards their ships. As both parties returned, there was a peaceful calm that swept over the Astraeus crew. A million questions in everyone's minds, theories and academic conversations, many of which had started earlier as teams began to review the topics outlined in 250-year-old first contact manuals. The similarities were staggering. The recognition, convergent evolution, as most of the scientists muttered. In the passageway between cargo bays, when Emil Rodriguez was finally out of his EVA suit, he dried his eyes and checked for missed messages on his new datapad. He opened the urgent priority notifications and with a smile deleted several of them. There were more, nearly 20 pages of rushed corrections and updates to the first contact manual. Congratulations! Page after page of suggestions and observations from various diplomats. Ramblings on how it was imperative humans were to be portrayed as respectful, dignified, and ready to be part of the greater galactic community. A page that was essentially an advanced technology shopping list, followed by 6 pages of various resources, commodities, and estimated amounts currently available in Sol if it were needed for trade negotiations. He stopped reading and attached the pad to his belt. Slow down. Just our second date. Love the language. Oh, that was great. That was wonderful, Turner. I love that. Kind of makes... Okay, are these alien shapeshifters? Or is, like, this kind of life form very common? Like, is it just this is the ultimate form of life? Is 5 fingers, 2 arms, and 2 legs, and a head and a body? Like, is this the most efficient biology can get? And are all aliens humanoid in that aspect? It's like once you've gotten to that level of consciousness, it's like you require like fingers and opposable thumbs to get to that level of consciousness, and then once you're there, it's like you've basically always evolved out to be this kind of the same. Right? Shrug. Hard to have a sex scene if they don't have the necessary equipment. True, Turner. True. That's why in my book, the 2 main characters that are in love can't fuck, because one's human and one's avian. It's like you need a scaled dick, otherwise your dick's gonna get completely fucked by their scales. Absolutely, Fennec. Yes, it is your story now. Dreams of reality. Stuff yapping about dick. Alright, here we go. This is Fennec's story. Mom. Leo, time to go to bed, honey. It's your birthday tomorrow. Leo. Okay, Mom, see you tomorrow. I hope I have the best birthday ever tomorrow. Mom. Okay, good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Leo. Okay. As Leo goes upstairs, he is too excited to go to sleep, and he watches It Talks Stories on YouTube, best YouTube channel. And then he finally falls asleep, and then the dream starts. Well, thanks for the shout out. True. Knew you would like that. I appreciate it. Hell yeah. Alright, I'm guessing his birthday is not going to be that great, right? Building up to having not a great time. No problem? Not at all, I love it. Remember, keep writing. Just because you have a long ways to go doesn't mean you should stop, right? No, he's gonna be in a dream. Oh, hey, what's up? Yo, what's up, bro? How's it going, Blessed? What you doing? We're about to watch the new, Chubby Emu video. But we got an ad break coming up in a sec here. So we're gonna wait for the ad break, and then we're gonna watch Chubby Emu. But how's your day been today, Blessed? What are you up to? What you been doing? What you at? What you got? What you done? I guess we can go on Discord now if you want. Oh, I need my granola bar. I'm fucking starving. Oh, I am tired. House laundry for almost 8 hours. Damn, that's crazy. Well, true. What's up?
Hello.
We got May housing lined up. Hey, good. There you go.
Okay.
I can't really hear you, Fennec.
Oh, yeah, more. What is TDG?
What?
What is TDG?
I don't know. Who's TBG?
TG or TDD?
You're gonna have to type it out. I can't hear you.
Wait, give me a second.
I'm working hard to get better. How are you? To be determined? No, we're doing great. I'm just hungry. A woman took her friend's Ozempic and her entire gut was cooked. Oh, to be determined? TBD. To be determined.
Alright, Scotty, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Just mowing me some of this shit. We're waiting for this ad break to come in.
Oh. I got a new background. Hello, kitty. I don't care what my background is. Yeah, so what I was talking about, so you know your badge that you can have?
My what?
You know by your name on Discord you have the badges?
Nope. I'm not really familiar
As a
with
matter of
Discord.
fact, go on the call, and then on your little name tag, look to your right, and it will say your badge. Like, how's mine's FF2. Yours is TDG.
I don't know what that is.
Well, ever since I've got banned from Discord, I've been out of TLC.
That sucks. I haven't been in TLC for a while. I've been so busy. I haven't had time. 2026 has been a crazy year so far.
Do you have the link to TLC? Do you have one?
Trying to see if I can find it.
Or
Where the fuck is it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I just invited you.
no, thank you. I want to be back in TLC. Thank God I'm back. Oh my God. Now, kaboom. My badge is now TLC again. Let's go.
Nice. Fucking
my
ads.
cats right now. These are my cats right now.
Nice.
Sleepy as hell right now.
Good
Well,
old
they are.
cats.
Yeah. Yeah, like I have 3 cats now. My kitten, my bigger cat named Simba, and Mufasa. Mufasa's the more little one. And we got Minnie, and she's black and white.
Nice.
And I pretend to like Simba's the dad of Mufasa. No, he's not.
Oh shit!
What? What?
Oh, I was just going along with the soundboard. 3, 2, 1, toe!
The hell, I'm verified on Discord. Let's go. Actually, oogly boogly.
Alright, let's get into this. Chubby Emu.
No,
Here we
not
go.
chubby
Hi,
emu,
Dr.
bro.
Bernard here. I have first-hand knowledge of this medicine, not because I take it, but
I
because
guess
I've worked on it. I'm not associated with any organization now here, so you're getting my unfiltered view. I'm not here to scare you out of your
That
mind about
looks like
taking these
someone
medicines,
like a
but I'm here to
Korean.
tell you that you need
Just
to be very sure you
like
have a legitimate need to take the weight
American and
loss
Korean
medicine. You've
combined
exhausted
right there.
every single other viable option that doesn't involve putting this in your body, because
Am I
it can
wrong?
cause lasting
Huh?
direct and indirect changes to
Am I
your
wrong
body.
that
And
that
on the flip
guy
side, if you
looks like
really
a
do need
Korean
it, don't ever
person
let
and
anyone shame you for
American
taking
person
life-saving
combined?
medicine. The cases I'm about to tell you
I don't
about
say
are
he's
rare, but
American.
at least 12%
He's
of all adults
he's
in
a
America
doctor.
have already taken this. That's more
Hmm.
than 30 million people, and with the oral tablet formulation now
Good for
available,
him.
this number is only going to increase. If it's even 0.1% of people getting the problems I'm about to describe to you, that's still more than 30,000 people. KT is a 50-year-old woman presenting to the emergency room with horrible nausea and vomiting. She tells the admitting nurse that over the last month, every day she would just want to eat less and less. This progressive decline in appetite was profound. At first, it started as not wanting to eat certain meals of the day. Then it became not eating for days at a time. A couple months ago, one of KT's friends had recently stopped taking weight loss medicine, but had a giant supply left over. She gave KT what remained and told her how to take it, and KT started taking it without seeing a doctor in person, without getting a prescription. This is definitely something that you never want to do because weird things started happening. Sometimes a sour sensation would drip under her tongue.
I'm
Her
gonna
eyes
work
would
on
quickly start to
chapter
water as
2
they would feel
now.
like they were squeezing out of her head. And she would empty her stomach in a way more intense than the previous time this happened, which was earlier that day. Nothing was consistent. She was taking this medicine for just a couple of weeks. Sometimes all of this would happen after she would eat, and it made her think that it was heartburn or indigestion. But other times it would just emerge out of nowhere, same feeling but no food at all. The burning would become so intense that it would bring her down to the ground. She'd take over-the-counter medicine for her stomach, proton pump inhibitor, the pink bismuth liquid, but every time she took antacids, she'd get dysgeusia, the sour metallic taste that emerges from the back of the throat, and the pain in her abdomen would still radiate to her back. None of this would go away. Maybe all of this is because of stress, she thought. KT told doctors that a burning abdominal pain emerged over the previous month, on the upper right side, wrapping around to her back. When you look at an anatomical diagram, the right upper quadrant of the abdomen has organs that aren't on the left. The body tends to be symmetrical, it's just that the digestive tract isn't. The gallbladder is here, it's connected with the liver, and as you go further towards the dorsal or the back side, the pancreas is there, and just below the pancreas is the right kidney. If there's pain in this area, any one of these could have something wrong, and further testing gave doctors more clues. Hey, I got a quick request. If you're learning something from this video and you're not subscribed yet, I'd really appreciate it if you did subscribe and come back to see the video that I publish next month too. I make these videos for fun, and I do them to teach people about medicine, about how our bodies work, and to show the conversations that we actually have in medicine. On average, I've made one video a month, every month since 2017. I genuinely enjoy making these videos, and I'm so happy to be able to share them with you. I appreciate you. A blood test reveals that KT's kidneys are shutting down. Wastes that should be removed from her body through her urine are now floating around in her blood. And it's not just this. Parts of her liver have died and are also floating around in her blood. Her liver has shut down. If both of these organs are where she's experiencing pain, this should make sense. Except when the kidneys and the liver fail, they don't always hurt. They don't usually directly produce pain, meaning for KT, something else is the problem. But what? Doctors do a CT scan so they can look directly into her abdomen. They thought they knew what the problem was, but the image tells them that it's more than they thought. The gallbladder is connected with the liver. This is a small organ that stores excess bile, which is a fluid that helps digest fats that you eat. The liver makes bile, so these two organs work together at the common bile duct. This is where the gallbladder and the liver join to release bile. The problem is the CT scan showed that KT's bile duct was dilated. There's a list of issues that can cause this, but not only that, her stomach was swollen with pockets of air and what looked like food material that was stuck there. Further down in her intestines, there was a massive stool burden. This was clearly several days worth of bowel movements that were just sitting there. All of this explains why her whole body hurts, but the scan reveals even more. Let's start with the dilated bile duct. Why is it doing that? Well, given that parts of her liver have died, and that her liver has shut down, and that the liver empties some of its contents through the bile duct, then it means that all her problems could be coming from her liver, but we have to think this through. Sometimes if a tube or a pipe, like a blood vessel or a duct, is dilated, it's the body trying to respond to a blockage. If we're thinking of the bile duct, well, gallstones are famously known to block flow. We call this a cholelithiasis. Chola from Greek referring to bile. Lith also from Greek meaning stone. Iasis meaning a condition produced by something specific. Anyone who's had one knows that gallstones cause horrible upper right abdominal pain, similar to what KT's experiencing, except the scan didn't show that she had any stones. Nothing was blocking the way. This means that her biliary dilation is non-obstructive, and this narrows down the cause to two things. In the hospital, KT's nausea and vomiting continued to worsen. She told doctors that she had been taking prescription painkillers, only a couple tablets though. She had saved these from a knee surgery that she had years ago. She didn't take very many, and she had simply forgotten to say anything because it was just so insignificant to her. Doctors decide to do one more imaging test. They take a camera and send it down into her stomach to directly see what that mass was, and images told them exactly what they needed to know. Sometimes food doesn't digest all the way, and this could be because the stomach isn't moving things along. The entire gastrointestinal tract is a giant muscle, and it needs to contract and relax the entire way through in order to move things along. This is a continuous tract, so from your mouth to your other end is a giant tube. This mass that was found in her stomach was made of a collection of all the food that she's eaten over the last several days, piled up into one semi-solid heap. This is called a bezoar. It blocks flow in the stomach, explaining why she couldn't keep anything down. And as things stretched in her GI tract every time she ate or drank, it would add to the pain that she was already having because this was stuck in her gut. As the muscles in her GI tract tried to accommodate this, the bile duct stretched out and dilated. But here's the thing. The bezoar is in her stomach. This is the upper GI tract. But there was a massive stool burden in her intestines. That's the lower GI tract after the bezoar. A blockage up here shouldn't also cause a blockage down here, meaning we still don't know why she had the bezoar and the massive stool together. What allowed these to form? Well, the stool means that the intestines weren't moving, but we also said that this particular bezoar is because the stomach isn't moving. So if we put these together and say that the entire GI tract isn't moving, then both of these simultaneously are caused by the same problem. Therefore, something slowed down or paralyzed her entire GI tract. It also caused dilation of her bile duct. Fluids backed up. They stayed still, and the swelling caused massive pain. But what does this? At this point, KT tells doctors about the weight loss medicine that she had gotten from her friend. Luckily, it was an approved, manufactured product by a company, not a compounded one where it would be harder to verify exactly what it was, so they knew exactly what was going into her body. One of the side effects of this medicine is that it slows down the GI tract. The exact phrase that we use in medicine about this is delayed gastric emptying. This effect is partially how it was discovered in the first place, but sometimes, and this is rare, it'll slow down the GI tract to the point where things don't really move at all. Gastroparesis. Gastro referring to the GI tract, and paresis referring to muscle weakness and partial paralysis. Delayed gastric emptying and gastroparesis are not the same thing. Delayed gastric emptying is normal with this medicine. It's part of how it works. Gastroparesis happens, but is not normal with this medicine. I didn't realize that might be a controversial statement. I'm actually kind of surprised that academic institutions are putting it this way on their websites, but let me explain. The words delayed gastric emptying refers to a side effect. The word gastroparesis refers to a chronic disease whereby someone has extreme abnormally delayed gastric emptying. Before this became weight loss medicine, while it was still a diabetes medicine, one of the most asked questions was the fact that the dose had to be titrated up so that patients could tolerate the GI side effects. There was an effort to ensure differentiation between delayed gastric emptying and gastroparesis. In English, delayed gastric emptying implies that it's just delayed, it's temporary, it's going to move through, it's just a little slower than normal. Gastroparesis sounds like paralysis, which implies it's over, it's done, it's never coming out, and that gut of yours is never moving ever again. But let me say it again, it sounds like that. Now you see the problem. It doesn't mean it's actually over. This is an unfortunate circumstance of English words, and at
Fucking
best,
English.
people might just mistake the two and their implications, and at worst, bad faith folks will use it to mess with people. Just know that you can expect this delayed gastric emptying to happen
Yes, Scotty, I'll
while
be
you're
right
on the
back.
medicine.
Sounds good.
Gastroparesis is the very extreme case, which if you do experience while taking it, see your physician in person, who you should have seen to get this medicine in the first place, bringing us back to KT's case. Why does this medicine slow down the gut? We need to understand what this medicine is. Slowing down the gut is not the only thing that it does. The name of the drug class gives us clues. Glucagon-like peptide 1 receptor agonist, GLP-1RA. Glucagon is a hormone, opposite of insulin. What does that mean? Insulin is the hormone released after you eat a meal. It tells your body's cells to take in the sugar from the meal floating around in the blood. It's an anabolic hormone, meaning that it tells your body to construct and build things based on that sugar, and this provides them with energy. Glucagon is the opposite of that. If insulin lowers blood sugar, glucagon raises blood sugar, and it does that by telling the liver to break down its stores of sugar. Whereas insulin tells the body to build things, glucagon tells the body to break down things. Therefore, glucagon is a catabolic hormone. So let's go back to the name glucagon-like peptide 1 receptor agonist. Science discoveries don't happen in order, and this is where things might get a little confusing. The weight loss medicine KT took is based off glucagon-like peptide, and glucagon-like peptide only looks like glucagon. It also comes from the same place as glucagon. But glucagon-like peptide doesn't do anything that glucagon does. GLP-1 is a hormone, but it stimulates insulin release. That lowers blood sugar, but also GLP-1 prevents glucagon from being released. This confusion is because science discoveries are made out of order, and the location where GLP-1 was found in the body was centered around glucagon, and the name probably wasn't changed because it took many more years to discover exactly what it did. Agonist means that the medicine pushes forward the GLP-1 signal. At a minimum, an agonist can be a fraction of or match the signal, and at a maximum, it can multiply that signal. There isn't some grand conspiracy behind this name intended to confuse the masses, but just know that this name refers to an opposite of an opposite. Glucagon is a catabolic hormone. It's the opposite of insulin, but glucagon-like peptide is the opposite of glucagon. It stimulates insulin, but it also isn't insulin. The most important thing to know is that because GLP-1 is a hormone, it does very many things to the body simultaneously, just like every other hormone. We just covered that it changes insulin and glucagon levels. We also just said that it slows down the gut, and it does that in multiple ways too. It's easy to boil it down and just say that it causes you to eat less.
That's why I'm
The
so
problem when you
skinny.
do that
I
is that
produce
you
a
miss
lot of
all
it.
the other mechanisms whereby
Naturally.
things can and will go
High
wrong
metabolism.
and permanently alter the lives of millions of people around the world. It's not a good idea to minimize it. So, if it's used inappropriately,
That's
it
why I
will
can eat
throw
so
the body
fucking
off
much,
balance.
and
A popular topic
I'm not
is how
fat.
the brain connects to the gut.
And I
There's a
do
physical
nothing but sit in my
connection
chair.
via the vagus nerve. When a GLP-1 signal is sent from the gut, it tells the nerves to slow
True.
down. But sometimes, in very, very rare cases, the GI tract slows down so much that it looks like KT's case. When KT was admitted into the hospital, she couldn't take the weight loss medicine anymore because doctors didn't even know at first
I'm
she was
eating,
taking
so gonna
it.
glare
And
at
now
your
that
handsome
doctors do
face
know
for 10
that
minutes.
she's taking it, they tell her
I might go to sleep
no
early.
more doses
That's all
for
good,
not
Turner.
only the
No
time that
worries.
she's here, but knowing that she's had this severe of a reaction to this medicine, it's not a good idea to restart it later if it can be
Probably
helped.
just gonna be chilling, watching
takes
some
care of the
some
underlying
videos for
problem.
the rest of the
But
stream.
even when the
Reading.
gut is able to move things
We're gonna be
along
reading
again,
The
still
Great
needs to be
Hunt.
taken care of. This can't be handled without some help, meaning that KT is going to need some intervention. But what?
Hopefully, wait for Shadow to come by.
Doctors could go in and
Read
mechanically disaggregate
Sacred
the
Territories.
bezoar. This would involve sticking the scope down her throat and swirling it around. But this can be risky because it's not the same thing as using a scope to just take a look. You have to swirl it around, break it up, and control isn't 100% precise. So there's a chance of damaging any part of the GI tract in contact with the scope. They could do surgery to remove it, but this isn't a complicated bezoar. Like, if it was a hairball, you actually can't use a scope to take that out because you'll pull on just more hairs, especially if it's a big one. And it could be hard to recover from that too. She might get an infection afterwards. That could cause massive problems also. So doctors elected to not do surgery. But something that's easy for them to try is to chemically dissolve it. This would prevent any direct physical damage that could happen. It could also eliminate any recovery time needed post-treatment. This would be a non-toxic chemical abundantly available, and a perfect chemical that fits all this criteria is carbonated soda. Diet in her case, because she did have blood sugar problems. The fizzy carbonation of the drink can mobilize stomach contents. The
Crazy.
stretch of the gastric muscle
Coke saved
from not
someone's
only the
life?
liquid, but also the carbon dioxide will help stimulate contractions to help get things moving along. Both Coca-Cola and Pepsi were originally formulated by pharmacists, maybe for slightly different reasons, but at least in the late 1800s,
Really?
they
What?
did find that the fizzy drinks were in fact able to help with some digestive issues.
What?
In
I didn't
one
know
way,
that.
We've
Holy
come very
shit.
far with our current GI therapies, but yet in another way, the classics can still work.
No wonder people
at the
love
right
to drink
time for the
cough
right
syrup.
patient, of whom in this case is KT. Doctors gave her 3 liters of diet soda to drink over 12 hours. It's okay, it's in the hospital, so there's people watching. The first day,
I mean,
she
I
didn't
probably
feel
heard it
well.
at some point
She
in time
couldn't
and just
finish it.
forgot.
But on the second day, when she drank even more,
But yeah.
she suddenly felt a tugging in her stomach.
No idea.
This was followed by the absolute largest bowel movement of her entire life. Both the discontinuation of the weight loss medicine, which stopped her gastroparesis, and the chemical dissolution and gaseous disaggregation of her bezoar appeared to have been the right treatment at the right time, as she was
This
able
is
to
why
make
I
a
recommended the
full
guy that injected
recovery.
drugs into his
KT's
balls.
case
Yup.
describes the consequences of gastroparesis.
Yup, Yuri, I've
in the
seen
setting
that
of
one.
Someone taking their friend's medicine, didn't see a doctor about it, didn't get a prescription. But in the partial gut paralysis, she also had biliary tract dilation because of the bezoar. Luckily, she didn't have a gallstone, which this weight loss medicine has been known to cause those too. But this area of the gut can spawn some serious medical emergencies, just like in the case for JC, is a 34-year-old man presenting to the emergency room with abdominal pain radiating to his back. For the last 4 hours, green liquid was coming up from his stomach. He felt like someone had plunged a sharp object directly into his upper back. His stomach would burn every time the hurt flared up, and all this had started days ago. JC had recently heard his neighbor and some of his friends started taking weight loss medicine. At first, he didn't think anything more of it, their business. But one morning, he looked in the mirror and wasn't super happy with what he saw. He never quite got the results that he thought he would get at the gym, so it was time for him to tighten things up, he thought. After reading online, JC found out that he could find a prescriber on the internet.
Yes, I do
who could
want to
give
know
him
something
weight loss
scary.
medicine
Tell
if
me.
he was willing to pay up. He was quickly determined
Tell
eligible
me.
and was able to pick it up at the local pharmacy, and he started taking it. And he was feeling great. It was a little slow to start. He was able to live his normal life, and every time he'd step onto the scale, he saw progress, but things started happening. His mouth would get dry. He'd pour himself some water, but he'd realize he wouldn't drink
Weight
it.
Watchers
He thought
isn't
maybe he was
licensed
subconscious and that
to
maybe he just needed
prescribe
to put some effort into
GLP-1s.
drinking it. But even when he tried, he
Weight
just didn't want to.
Watchers?
And then the water started tasting metallic.
Wait, what?
He tried some other drinks. Some days they tasted better than others, and he continued taking the weight loss medicine. But one evening, JC was sleeping. Suddenly, a sharp pain woke him up, and no matter how
Recently,
much he
last
tried
couple of
different
years, all this
positions
stuff is
laying
happening
down in
right
bed,
now.
it wouldn't go away.
That's fucked up.
During the day,
How
he
do they
couldn't
act
get
like?
anything done
Wait.
because of how much it hurt. He tried sleeping it off, but the pain was horrible. Even just smelling
Robert's
food would
not
make him
longer
feel
a
like
point
he was
system,
going
it's
to throw
drugs.
up. In a fit of blinding pain, he felt like he was getting blood-eagled as he calls for 911, and he's brought to
How
the
does
emergency
Weight
room
Watchers
where we are now.
in
the
any
emergency
way
room,
have
JC
anything
threw
connected
up
to
in the nurse's
doctors?
shoes. His breathing was stressed, and he said that his abdominal pain radiated to his back, like someone had taken a crowbar and started prying it apart. A blood test finds that JC has hyperlipemia. Hyper meaning high. Lipe from Greek referring to lipids or fats. A's referring to
Hello?
an enzyme that breaks
Yo, what's
things
up?
down, like lactase.
Yo, I've been
to break
trying to
down
talk to you
lactose in milk.
for the
And
past
anemia
5
meaning
minutes!
presence in blood.
Have you been in
High
Discord?
fat-degrading enzyme
Yes!
presence in blood.
Oh,
Lipase comes from
where's
the
your
pancreas. It's
messages?
released after we eat a meal. It's secreted
Here
from the small
in voice
intestines
chat,
via the
in
pancreatic duct,
sound
which
form,
joins
in
the
way, in
common
the
bile
form
duct,
of sound
where the
waves.
gallbladder and
Wait,
the
like you
liver
were
release
muted?
bile done this way to
I
optimize
was very
digestion
quiet.
and absorption of
Oh,
fats.
I didn't even
into the
notice you
body.
were in here.
Lipase is only supposed to
Fuck
go
you,
in here. If it's in the
it
blood,
sucks.
then it
I
means that the
need
pancreas
a
is
song
leaking
to
it
sing.
out. But
And
the
I
problem
forgot
is,
what that
because it
one song
digests
was
fat,
that,
and the pancreas
know.
is partially made of fat, and it's leaking out, contacting
Give
parts
me
of
a
the
song to
pancreas that
sing.
it shouldn't be contacting,
And
then it
if you
means
make me,
that
if
JC's
you give me a
pancreas
song
is
that makes
digesting
me
itself.
sound like a seal on
True
acid,
to my
I will,
message to you that
I
diet and
will, I
exercise
will take
should
off all
always
my
be the
clothes,
front of
and then I
mind.
will take your clothes, and then I will pour mustard and ketchup all over them, and then I will make you put it back on. I will make you put my clothes back on, and then I will put on your clothes, and then I will put you between two buns, and then I will eat you.
Fuck yeah. Sounds hot as fuck.
Fuck, that was supposed to be a punishment.
Well, yeah, but I love punishment.
But
You weren't here for the smut story yesterday, were you, Callie?
man, I don't like smut. Yo.
What do you mean you don't like smut? Then why'd you agree to be a part of our company that does smut?
I don't
Wait,
know, man.
what?
I was like, smut equals money.
Yes, sex
Smut.
sells.
I was like, smut
Do
equals
you
money.
want money or do you want morals?
I want morals.
Oh, well then you're poor. I'm sorry, man, but morals don't get you money.
Man, then I want to be poor.
Sucks to be you, bro.
Poor, yeah. I'd rather be pure-hearted.
That's so boring, though.
No, man. I want to be pure-hearted. Oh.
I mean, fair
Give
enough.
me a fucking song. You freaking... What's the word? Degenerate?
Okay. Me? Wait, you mean me?
You freaking degenerate. We're all degenerates here.
Yeah, but I'm like, you're asking me for a song.
Yeah. What the fuck is that bird?
Jumpin' Jack Flash.
In the context of weight loss,
what type of
Cookunity
song?
is a great option for getting started on the right track.
Jumpin' Jack Flash.
They're the sponsor of this video. They just sponsored this spot. They had no
Is
say
that
in
the
me
song
talking
that you've
about GLP-1.
carefully
Cookunity is a
curated for
chef
my
collective
voice?
that gets you restaurant quality meals by award-winning chefs.
Is that the
delivered
song
fresh
that
to your
you've
door. Every week, I
carefully
choose a couple of
picked
The
for my
system also
voice?
knows what I've really
Want me to
enjoyed
play
and
it for
can make
you?
informed decisions.
Yeah. Do I actually sound like a Cali girl?
Mm-hmm.
Help me. Man. I'm so upset. Okay, I'm gonna listen to it and then... Bow, bow. Watch it!
It's absolutely your voice.
I was born in the crossfire hurricane.
True.
And I howled at my in the driving rain. I want a song that lets me like be like, oh, no. How the fuck do you do it? Wait, man, I need a song that like.
3, 2, 1, go!
I'm gonna try this song. Wait, so do you know Maps by Maroon 5?
Wait, what?
Actually, Maps by Maroon 5.
Don't know.
Search it now, search it now.
What'd you say, Maps?
Maps by Maroon. Maps by Maroon 5. Ugh. Yo, I gained... Do you know how much weight I gained since I started...
Why is it in Japanese?
Taking creatine. I miss the taste of the sweet of life. I miss the conversation. I'm searching for a song tonight. Yeah, that's not me. I feel like that's not me.
Yeah, I feel like the Rolling Stones was closer, Callie.
Yeah. I just picked a random song in my. I feel like when I'm belting, it's not. Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Decisions for me, and delivered to my door is a whole week's worth of lunch for me, and this helps me stay on track with what I eat. These meals are amazing, and there's a huge variety. Let me show you some of my favorites. Mexican pork bowl with
I don't
early
like those
green rice and Mayan sauce by Chef
those,
Ruben
like,
Garcia. The
food
pork is juicy, and the
preparation
sauce, when
things.
mixed with the rice, is amazing. The flavors are incredibly unique. And take, for example, this Greek-style chicken gyro pita wrap with handmade tzatziki by Chef Cedric Nicholas. With every bite, there's a perfect mix of spices brought together with pita bread that's mixed with this wonderful tzatziki.
Oh my god, it's so hot.
It's nutritionally very good, too. Cook Unity is offering everyone watching this video 50% off their first order. Click the link in the description below and use my code CHUBBY50 to try it out. Link in the description with code CHUBBY50.
Is that mashed potatoes?
I highly recommend it.
Is that...
JC has
I have no idea
acute
what that is.
pancreatitis. Itis meaning an
Chubby?
inflammation of the
Chubby
pancreas
emu.
because something
Isn't he
happened
like
to
really
it.
fit?
Enzymes started leaking out
Yeah,
of it,
but it's
and
Chubby
now
Emu is the
starting
name
to
of the
digest
channel. Yeah, no, he's fit as fuck.
Acute meaning that all of this is happening suddenly. But
He's got the sleeper
why
build.
is this happening? This part about weight loss medicine sometimes is either forgotten or just isn't known in the first place. It was originally a diabetes
Wait, I forgot to
medicine.
tell you.
It wasn't
I
seriously
gained
being considered
so
for
much
weight
weight
loss
since
at
I started
first,
taking
because patients
creatine.
weren't losing that much weight
Like,
on the original versions.
I
It was
gained-
at most a couple of pounds at
I
the
gained
cost
8
of
pounds.
possible serious
In,
side
like,
effects,
muscle?
like pancreatitis.
I have
One
no
thing
idea.
That we've known since the 1980s
it says-
Are you
is that
just eating
GLP-1
too much creatine and not
can
doing anything else,
increase
Callie?
pancreatic cell
No,
proliferation.
I started
If the
doing
cells become
bicep
too
curl. I
numerous,
did
or
hammer
if they become
curls
too big,
and like
that's gonna squeeze
rows.
ducts. This can block outflow. This can prevent lipase from
Okay.
draining out of the
Okay.
pancreas.
Okay.
The subsequent
3, 2,
backup
1.
can cause it to
Go.
linger at first, then to overflow, and then
And I
digest
was
the
like-
pancreas itself. As it
So
flows
my
out
back
into
and
JC's
arms
blood,
should be like-
causing
I
his
did
horrible
triceps-
abdominal pain
tricep
and his
extension.
hyperlipasemia. One
This
part
is a-
of GLP-1 discovery was from how it delays gastric emptying, and another part of the discovery was from the pancreas in what was happening to JC.
Yo, I'm
In
listening to my
1990,
voice right now,
Dr.
and I just
John
find it
Ung at the
cute.
Veterans
I don't
Administration
really-
Hospital in the
True.
Bronx was interested in recent National Institutes of Health research that demonstrated that snake and lizard venom caused pancreas enlargement. Why did the venom do this? Of particular note was the Gila monster. However, one thing that was realized
I
was
don't
that
really
Gila
know what else to
monster
think of
venom
my
samples
voice.
contained its saliva. The Gila monster is able to slow down its metabolism and maintain constant blood sugar levels after long periods of not eating. If
Don't
the
die on me
venom
now!
Causes pancreas enlargement, and
What
the
the
pancreas
fuck?
makes insulin,
That
which
guy's
creates
wearing
an
a
environment
mask.
of maintained blood
Is that
sugar
Ronald
levels.
Weasley?
Something might be in here that's
Who?
involved
Ronald
with insulin,
Weasley.
but the Gila monster doesn't
Look at him,
envenomate
he's one of these
itself.
on the Rolling
And given that its
Stones.
saliva is in the venom samples,
I have no idea
and
what you're
that
saying,
saliva
Callie.
makes its way through the GI
I'm gonna
tract,
take
of which
a
the
print
pancreas is a part
screenshot.
of, then what's in
Okay.
that saliva that connects with
Go.
pancreas
Send it to
and
you
insulin? When Dr. Ung
here because
took a
you don't
closer
check
look at the Gila monster's
DMs
saliva,
'cause
he found something
you
called
suck.
No, I just don't
exendin,
get
but he noticed
notifications to
something.
anything
In
on
1983,
Discord.
we still
It's
weren't
fucking
able to
annoying.
sequence whole genomes like we are
So you gotta
today,
tell
but
me.
based on reasoning and some genes that
Look,
we
it's
already
Ronald
knew about
Weasley.
in humans,
Right,
scientists
with the
deduced the
pitchfork.
structure of something made by the pancreas called
Or the
proglucagon.
whatever the hell
This
that
is
is.
the precursor
Wait,
to
what?
glucagon in the body. But this predicted structure
oh.
also indicated that proglucagon gets cut up into multiple
Ronald
different
Weasley.
things. These all looked like glucagon. They're from the same place as glucagon.
I see-
but
I
they
see what you
weren't
mean.
Glucagon. And as a result, two of these
And
extras
that guy's a
were
pilot,
named
that guy's a
glucagon-like
gangster,
peptide 1 and 2.
that guy,
and when scientists
no
knew what they
idea.
were looking for,
That guy's
they
shy-
discovered
that guy's
the
shaggy and
prediction
that
was
guy's a-
correct. It's just that
that guy,
glucagon-like peptide
some
only
sort of, like,
looked like glucagon.
Chinese
it
demon,
didn't behave like
an Oni.
glucagon. When Dr. Ung looked at exendin from the Gila monster's saliva, he noticed that it looked like human glucagon-like peptide, and it appeared that its function was similar
Onigan.
too. GLP-1 isn't always floating
Gila
around in our
mon-
blood.
Gila-
Our bodies release it
the fuck?
after we eat. but its signal is very
Glucagon.
powerful, so our body
Byakugan.
wants to get rid of it. We have a built-in
Byaku.
process that eliminates GLP-1 in 2
Bankai.
minutes. The difference is when Exendin is in the human body, it does what GLP-1 does, but it's different enough that the human process can't
I
break
want to
it
eat
down
my food,
fast
but I'm
enough.
really
It
full,
hangs around
even
the
though I
body
just
for
ate. I must have
hours,
eaten my dreams
continuously
detox.
sending all
Well,
the signals
shit, you
that
eat my
GLP-1
dreams
does.
too, Callie.
If Gila monsters
I'm not gonna
can
eat your
slow down their
dreams. They're
metabolism
Why not? They're
and lower blood
delicious.
sugar levels
Probably
during
full of
long periods
bananas
of
and
not eating,
potassium and,
because
like-
Exendin
What?
is in their saliva,
That's
and
a
Exendin
lie.
sends the GLP-1 signal to regulate blood sugar and slow down metabolism
I don't like
while lasting
bananas.
longer than GLP-1
Why not?
does. Then is it possible to give humans
What do you mean?
Exendin as a medicine for type 2 diabetes?
You don't like
I'm gonna
bananas.
put away
Diabetes
my
that
food.
happens when one
The
becomes
fuck you mean you don't
insulin
like
resistant. That is,
bananas,
after
bitch?
someone eats, insulin's released,
Okay,
but the
you
body
caught
doesn't
me. I
respond to it,
love
and
bananas.
blood sugar always stays high
That's what I
unless
thought,
a
bitch.
medicine is given.
Take
One
this.
is
Take
when
my
the body can't
banana.
make insulin because the
Motherfucker.
pancreas is damaged.
Hell
And the
no,
answer is
that thing
yes,
probably brown
we
as
did
hell.
it in 2005. When we first studied it, it showed some mild effect on weight loss. But something that we did know was that it could slow down the GI tract. That's what it's doing in Gila monsters, because this was intended to slow down their metabolism during times of fasting. And potentially, but not commonly, it could change the pancreas, bringing us back to JC. In the hospital, JC was started on IV fluids. He was dehydrated because he couldn't keep any water down. Medicines were given for his pain, and everything seemed to be going okay, but only for a short time. When body parts appear to be damaged, the immune system reacts. This is to protect you, but the problem is, sometimes the immune system overreacts, and it does that overreaction when it shouldn't be reacting in the first place.
I
JC's
am not used to
pancreas
seeing you
digesting itself
with
is
your
body
all
part
your hair
damage,
gone.
so the immune system is there trying to
My
protect him
face.
from that damage.
I'm just
But
staring
when
at you with your
inflammation,
smooth face.
pancreatitis happens, the area can start to swell with fluid, and in JC, where his pancreas was supposed to be, is starting to swell.
That
with
very
fluid.
Callie.
Usually,
Like
in a
a
34-year-old
good-
man with no diagnosed
What
past
the
medical
fuck?
history, this kind of pancreatitis resolves itself. The medical team elects to watch and wait, because even though his abdomen is swelling with fluid, doing surgery and cutting him open could be doing more harm than
Stop
good.
it.
Even if the image looks scary, the body can and will heal itself. But one thing that they do find
What's the
is
name
that
of that
despite
guy?
stopping
Like,
the weight loss
Chubby
medicine,
Emu.
Jason's admitted
Quasimodo.
into the hospital.
Quasimodo.
The fluid
No,
in his
Chubby
GI
Emu.
tract
Nah,
still
he's
hasn't moved at all.
Quasimodo.
This
You mean the
gastric
Hunchback of Notre
stasis
Dame?
also happened to
You're
continue this
Quasimodo at
slowdown,
Hawks.
and the
I
pancreas
had a
effects
neighbor
together
who was a
were how this
hunchback,
medicine
Callie.
was discovered.
Oh.
His
But
name was
if we knew
Kyle.
all of this,
Did you give him
why did we
snacks?
turn this into
Oh,
a medicine?
100%.
Well, the
He ate my
benefits
snack,
outweighed
all
the
right,
risks.
motherfucker.
For diabetes, this was originally
What the
add-on.
fuck?
Eventually, it became monotherapy, that is, giving it by itself to lower blood sugar. But one more innovation
What?
would turn it into weight loss medicine.
What?
The same innovation is also
I said it,
partly
bitch.
responsible for why
Fuck you.
American insulin prices became so high. And actually, we already touched upon it. Before the 1980s, insulin used to be beef and pork insulin. That is, we used to take the pancreas from pigs and cows that were already taken for meat and grind them up,
Insulin.
purify it, and extract insulin from it and let patients inject that. The problem is people would become allergic and they would switch back and forth for decades, and eventually they'd just have to deal with the allergy. And even worse, to make 1 pound of insulin required 8,000 pounds of pancreas from 23,500 animals. And in 1978, the United
Jesus.
States needed at least 56 million animals just for the production of insulin that year. We've only
Damn.
gotten more prevalent diabetes since. And so scientists
That's
had
fucking
an idea.
crazy.
Insulin is a
can't
chain
see,
of
but
amino
I'm making a
acids, and our
face
DNA
right now.
sequence is the code that enables us to produce those amino acid chains.
And then we just made our own
differs
insulin.
from human insulin by 1 amino acid. Beef differs by 3. But if living organisms all have DNA, and DNA makes amino acid chains, could we engineer a genetically modified organism to make human insulin? Using E. coli bacteria, scientists were able to manipulate and isolate specific DNA fragments arranged in a way for those bacteria to produce human insulin. engineered strains of bacteria were grown, placed in conditions favorable for them to produce pure human insulin. No more allergies, no more grinding up animal pancreases, and full control over how much insulin can be produced. And this technology changed everything. Researchers noticed that if the amino acid sequence of a hormone was just slightly different, that hormone could last longer, or it could last shorter, or it could have a stronger signal or a weaker one. Just like how Dr. Ung found out Exendin behaved like GLP-1 but lasted for hours instead of minutes.
sad.
And now that insulin can be
Suddenly
made with the
and out
exact
of
sequence that
nowhere.
we're looking
Because
for,
I'm ignoring
it
you,
means that
Callie.
we can also make
Okay,
custom versions
it was
of
intentional,
that behave
but now
in
I can
different
talk to you
ways.
now that you
If we
felt
change
it
some
and
of
you've
these amino
expressed
acids,
it.
we get longer
I've
fast.
won,
Change
so
these and make a
now we're
short-acting
good.
one. Every time we make a new one of these, it's a new medicine. These act like insulin.
I did. Do you want to play some video games, Callie?
Give too much
Fuck
fast
no, I
acting
only
insulin,
play
the
League.
patient could have
I'll play
life-threatening
League with you.
hypoglycemia, low
What?
sugar
Oh my
presence in blood
god, we
very
can make
quickly.
fun of.
Give too much
We can make fun of all the
slow-acting insulin in daytime.
other
patient might forget and wake up
sweaty
dizzy and fall down
guys
and crack
that,
open their
like,
head at nighttime.
only play to
And you
win.
can't use
What do you
slow-acting
play?
insulin by itself to
I
treat
play
diabetic
Callie.
attacks. And in the hospital or the nursing home, the nurses
But like,
don't have to give
so you're like
insulin
a
all
top
the time
laner
and
or a
watch
mid?
blood sugar like a hawk when
I
it's
play
not
all lanes.
regular
Okay.
human insulin.
Can you
and
ADC?
just give the slow-acting
Yeah.
one. So if
But
it's
who
a
do you
new
play?
medicine, then it means that
I
it
mean
has to be
Jin
tested
or like
and tried in
wait,
humans again.
Jin
And there's no guarantees that it
Zaya
works how we think it will,
that
or
that
that
new
it doesn't
one
cause new side effects. And therefore, as a new
what's
medicine,
the new one?
it's given
I
a
forgot
new
what the
patent,
new one's name
which means
was.
in America,
I love her
it's
though.
charged at a
She's
premium,
freaking awesome.
So I can
explaining
support
one
for
reason
you?
why insulin
Yeah.
prices were out of control at one point. But this principle of changing amino acids was done to Exendin.
I fucking
It's
hit-
an
I hurt my
important
toe.
medicine, but it
I
wasn't
just hurt my
good.
toe.
Gila monster bites are painful.
Sounds
Toxin and saliva
brutal.
are present. And that might be partly why Exendin
I'm sorry I'm
causes
laughing at
bruising,
you, but that
swelling,
was
and bumps
great.
when it's injected.
That was
And patients
fucking
had to inject
great.
twice daily.
I knew
Most
immediately.
people
I was like, he
get
did
to that all the
something.
time.
He
Making
did
a version
something.
could eliminate injection site reactions. It could be made to a once daily injection.
Freaking jerk.
How long do you think it would take me to
send a
install League?
stronger GLP-1 signal, selective for
I
some
don't know,
parts
like
more so than
30
others.
minutes or something.
And this is how it became weight
Or
loss
less.
medicine. One GLP-1 derivative created
But you
for
do have to
diabetes was
restart
made
your
to be given once
computer.
daily, not twice.
No, I
In
don't.
the human trial, it was
What?
found
Why
to
not?
control blood sugar better than
'Cause I
medicines
can't.
of that time. But more
Wait,
importantly,
what?
This particular one was found to cause patients to lose an
'Cause that would end the
appreciable amount of weight
stream.
in a long-term follow-up inside that series of studies.
But your
And this
computer would
realization
it would ask
changed
you
that
to
entire
restart your
company.
computer.
I'd
They
just
ran
say
human
no.
trials and found that a higher daily
Oh my
dose
god, it
does
would
cause
it would
humans
force
to lose
you.
more weight.
No,
Branded
I
that
just say
higher dose
no.
as the
You
first
can't
weight loss
restart,
medicine.
We're not
bitch.
The
playing.
first one that isn't directly psychoactive to limit
We're not
appetite,
playing
because
this
those were the kinds of medicines that were predominant before this. And as they kept
I don't know what
changing
you're
the
talking
amino
about,
acid
Callie, but,
sequence of GLP-1, they converged onto the current formulations: lower dose, once weekly injection, oral tablet, competing on the amount of weight lost.
Man, I
Demonstrating
Are
to
you
be
okay?
safe and effective for the
I'm
patients
not
who need
okay.
it
We're not
and
gonna play
who
play
can get the
League
proper
today.
care.
Why
It's just
not?
that when it's scaled up to
Because you
hundreds
don't
of
want to
millions of
restart your
people
computer.
No, I
worldwide, you
can't
can find things
restart
that
my
happen in
computer.
extremes.
It's not that I don't
Just like in
want
JC's
to,
case.
it's that I
A few days
can't.
pass, things seem
I
to be
hate
holding
you.
steady. JC didn't need surgery. and
Well,
he's probably
shit,
ready
it's
to
all
go
your
home,
fault,
they
Callie.
thought.
Suck.
The medical
Why
team
is
gets
it my
ready to
fault?
Because
discharge
you
him from the
dictate that
hospital.
I have to
Everything
restart
seems
my
to be great.
computer, and
As
I'm like,
the
that's the
hours
whole,
pass,
that's the
JC
barrier.
starts to get
That's the
chills.
barrier to
He's
entry.
running a
If
fever.
I have to restart my
His
computer,
blood
it's
pressure
too much
starts
of a
to
big
drop.
barrier to
His
entry.
heart tries to keep
Are you
on
sure I
beating
can't
faster
just-
Entries,
and
how
faster.
tight your ass
Are you
is.
sure I can't just install it on
CT scan
Steam?
finds that gas is now in the
No.
space where the fluid was swelling.
Are you
The
sure?
stomach and the intestines have air in them, but they're usually closed off so their contents don't leak into the abdomen. So if JC's stomach isn't punctured,
You're not
then
sure, I'm
where
checking.
is this gas
It's
coming
not
from?
on
A blood test
Steam.
finds that not only are JC's liver and
I don't believe
kidneys
you. Why am I
shutting
seeing,
down
like,
now,
so many
but that he now has an
intestines?
infection. If
'cause
bacteria
that's what
and
we're
fungus
talking
floating
about
around in
today.
the abdomen
my
outside of the stomach can
God.
produce gas, then it means that fluid buildup from his
I did not just
inflamed
finish
pancreas
orgasming.
is now
You did
infected.
not just do
But
that.
it doesn't just stop there. Whatever's infecting him has now spilled into his blood. The immune system detects this and tries to react again by dilating the body's blood vessels, but this drops the blood pressure. Adequate
didn't
oxygen
even
can
laugh.
get to
I
the
can't
organs
believe
like
you.
the liver.
Yeah, it
and
looks
the
like it's
kidneys
not on
as they
Steam.
start to shut down. JC
That's
comes in and
unfortunate.
out
Why
of
do those
consciousness,
things look like
limited
little
oxygen
slugs?
Gets to his brain. All of this happening
Really?
from pancreatitis in
They're
JC
inside of you
that
right
came
now,
from a
Callie.
weight loss
Oh my
medicine
god.
accident. When we look at
I
KT
ate
in JC's case,
I
if you
ate
listened
slugs,
carefully, you'll
yo.
have picked up One
They're
little
crawling
detail
inside of your mouth
each.
right now
PT
as we
took
speak.
Prescription painkillers.
Yo, I need
It wasn't a
to
lot,
bomb it right now.
But in chronic misuse,
Too bad.
those can cause GI side
Yo, I can't believe I'm 8
Is it
pounds heavier.
possible
See,
that
I'm
these
trying to change
together,
the subject
added
now.
with
You
the
made
weight
me
loss
uncomfortable.
medicine,
See what you did?
could create an
I did what I
additive
needed
or
to do, Callie.
multiplicative
You're just
effect.
muscular.
It's not impossible. However,
What do you
just know
mean?
that hundreds of
I'm
millions of
taking
people
like
taking
muscular
GLP-1s
as like
around the world. Some of them
as
are
like
going to
weak
be taking
and like
prescription
you know.
painkillers.
I'm
Many of them don't
taking
get
it. In
So
the
you think
opposite
Arnold
way.
Schwarzenegger is weak?
To the point of an
No,
obstructive
you're
disorder.
calling me
Next,
muscular to mean
JC
that
had a
I'm
drink.
weak because
This
I
amount
want to
doesn't
vomit
cause
after like
pancreatitis, and we
seeing
know for JC,
slug-looking
it
bacteria.
definitely doesn't because that was a fairly regular amount for him. Despite knowing that these hormones can make pancreases larger,
You
there hasn't
need to
been
do
an
what you need
appreciable
to do,
signal
Callie,
in
to get
hundreds
by
of
with what you
millions of
do,
people who have
okay?
taken it, whereby
Oh my God,
the
what the
pancreases
fuck? No,
become
no.
abnormally large.
See,
that doesn't negate edge cases.
I
The
hate
data
you.
tells us that it doesn't happen.
You're
to
not
the
doing what
majority.
you need to
Now,
do. I'm
I have
telling
to
you
be
that
clear
right
here.
now.
Every time I describe
Are you my
two
dad or
things together
something?
that cause
I'm
one
trying
The dad
to
that
be.
never.
some
The
folks
dad.
want to adamantly
The
blame
dad
one
that
side.
I'm
didn't-
trying to
Guess
be,
what?
Callie. You're
In high
not making
school,
it
I
easy.
did more than 100
The
different
dad
things
that I don't. I
causing
don't even
one
know what my
problem.
dad looks
So
like.
let me say this again.
That's
These
crazy, Callie.
individual
That's
things
unfortunate.
alone did not cause these patients problems. The prescription painkillers
What a dickbag.
alone
Fuck your
did not
dad.
cause her problem. She did not take that many.
How do
The
I know what your
same
dad
reason
looks
did
like,
not
but you don't know
cause
what your dad
JC's
looks like?
problem.
That's
How
fucked
many
up.
people are on this medicine and have a beard? How many people are on this medicine and need prescription painkillers? I'll give you the answer right now. It's in the millions, and not millions
Wait,
of people
what?
are having the same cases as these two patients. When combined with weight loss medicine, you have to exercise caution. Everyone is going to have additional factors. You don't wake up in the morning and only take weight loss medicine and cease to exist for the entire time until your next dose. There's many things happening all at once when you take this medicine. Everything that you choose to add to your life, or you even need to add,
Oh,
Are you my
God.
mom or
add
something?
complexity,
What?
and there will be some interactions
Are you
when
my
you're
mom?
looking at hundreds
No,
of
I'm
millions of
your
lives.
fucking
So,
older
the most
brother.
important takeaway
No, I'm
that
your
I
younger
have
brother
Okay.
who's older than you.
is if you don't
Sorry.
need to take this,
You also might be your dad.
one of the principles of
Also-
losing weight is to always have room
Also, he
to
preferred
adjust.
you over
Let me
me.
give you an
That's
example
why
for
he
this.
you got to see his
Say that
face.
you want to give yourself 4 months.
Yeah,
to
I
lose
think
some
that's
weight
how it
with diet and
worked.
Exercise. Your first 2 to 3 weeks should actually be really easy. You're slowly starting to exercise more often, and you have
Yeah,
a set
Callie,
limit of
see, do what he
calculated food
says.
intake. As your body adjusts
Look at that.
to that, you'll
I
notice that the progress will
exercise
start to stall.
already.
Then you can slowly add another day of exercise.
I burned
that week.
500
and then the week after,
calories
have a
the
little
other
less than just
day.
one meal. And over the weeks, as you keep
Oh my God,
adjusting,
it's so much
the final
chicken.
weeks can get a little bit lean because of all the accumulated changes. If someone does go on this medicine
Wait, what?
and they had those other options available as diet and exercise, but they didn't choose those, there's suddenly a lot less room to adjust. They just dumped
Those
everything
fucking
into
arms
this
are as
one
big as
position.
mine, or
It's
maybe
harder to
bigger, I
maneuver
don't
now.
know.
And yes, there's going to be some progress, but where do you go after that? And we know that people do rebound and gain weight if they stop medicine. But by the time that they do that, if they're not careful, hormones will
I've been
be out of
taking
balance for
all the
extended periods
creatine
of
I
time,
could.
and even may
True.
never quite be the same as a time before. Does that weight gain rebound happen with diet and exercise? It does. However, the other part to those able-bodied people is to be able to
Wait a
build
sec, so I'm not
actionable
supposed to, like,
habits.
suddenly
so these
quit
weight loss medicines
chips?
have multiple mechanisms of how they
Oh
work. They
shit,
send
dude,
signals
you
from
might
the gut
become
to the
diabetic
brain
if you
to
do
delay
that.
gastric emptying.
Wait, what?
You feel fuller for
You
longer.
quit chips.
They stimulate insulin release.
Wait,
and inhibit glucagon release.
I don't
They
get it.
change
Like, I
hunger
thought chips
hormones.
actually-
They change digestive
No,
hormones.
it's salt, not
You want
sugar.
to eat less, and all of this is in line
confused.
with how
Wait,
we
what?
found it.
Diabetes
The
is
lizard is able to
sugar.
slow down
Chips
its
are salt.
metabolism during times where it
But,
doesn't
like,
eat for
chips have
months
the-
because of the
have the,
hormone in its saliva, and we've transported that.
Or is
into
it because
humans
potato
with a
is
similar
starch?
effect, but for
Yeah,
a different
yeah,
purpose.
that.
But we have
Fuck.
to be careful because this is hijacking one part of our bodies, whereas for the Gila monster, this is built
What
in.
the
We're
frick
not
is
lizards.
that?
At least
That's
I
the
don't
Gila
consider ourselves.
monster.
And so we need to exercise
no,
caution
the
for when
balls.
you need to use it.
The
So the last thing I
balls.
want to say about
What?
these medicines
No,
is that
no,
there's
like-
way too much noise out there about these topics get brought up
Fuck.
online. That
What
aren't
monitor
even
are
the
you looking
conversation
at?
we have about this in medicine. Others grossly simplify it. And in the more sophisticated cases, some of the claims are mostly right, but it's just that slight amount that isn't right that's usually
How are you looking at my third monitor, motherfucker? How do you know what's on my third monitor?
Are centered around straight weight loss, the heart attack and stroke risk reduction, the treatment of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So if you do that weight loss without the medicine, you
I'm
get all these
videotaping
benefits
you
because
right
it
now.
actually
Ah, fuck?
reduction
You're actually
primarily in
streaming
visceral
behind
adiposity.
me.
There's the other
And
potential benefits that we don't
everything
really know
behind
about,
me is
like
just
for
AI
overeaters
generated, but you're actually
disorder. They're
standing
being
there with a
considered for
camera.
research right
You're
now,
like
but it's not official
right
treatment yet,
above
and we
here.
don't know much about
So
it
it's like
yet.
where this plane's
The
off, and then
way
you're
to
looking
keep your
down
mind
on me,
clear amidst
like a
all of the
third-person
noise
camera,
is that every single
like this.
prescription
I can't
medicine
imagine
out there
that
is
right now. My
required by
brain
law
isn't like
to have a
processing what you're
prescribing
saying.
information insert.
Like it's like
And this
top
tells
down
you officially
diagonal, like you
everything
know,
that you
like
need to know.
I
your
wanna be top
camera
down
is
with
like
you.
here,
Should take precedence
looking down
over
at me.
anything that you see about these
Looking
medicines
down at you
online,
while I fuck
or
you?
anything that
Okay.
you hear.
Yes,
Now, if you're not in
please,
the medical
daddy.
field, don't be stressed if you
Shut
can't
the
understand
fuck up.
everything
No.
that I'm saying. If you want to
With
really
your
take
hairless
time getting someone
armpits.
to explain this to you without an appointment, you can walk into
Like
any
this.
pharmacy and ask the pharmacist there questions at any time that is not too busy. I'll get you started in understanding this. This black box about thyroid cancer, the few times that it was
Ew,
observed
that's
to have
probably
happened
sweaty.
in humans, it wasn't clear that it was because of this medicine.
It's probably all
Notice that it
sweaty,
says
you know.
rodents. That warning's been there since 2010, since
Thyroid
before
cancer.
This was
I
weight loss
have
medicine.
thyroid,
Indication
whatever.
is a reason to use
I
this
have
medicine.
hypothyroidism.
If you need it, you're indicated. If you don't need it, you're not indicated. Contraindications are reasons to absolutely not take it. And it's the warnings and precautions and the adverse reactions, which is a
I have
fancy
no
phrase
idea
for
what he said.
side effects, that will tell you
Contraindications.
basically everything that you'll need to know.
Drugs.
Stuff
He's
outside of
explaining
this,
how
like
bad
things
the
that you
fucking
hear from
drug
your
is
neighbor
for you.
Whose cousin's friend's
Oh, I
wife's
take
boyfriend
drugs.
took this. You
I have
can
to put
trust
the
if you
food away
want,
before it
but know that
fucking-
you would need to verify. Thousands of people in multiple departments across multiple organizations vet every single word on these labels as their full-time job. And if you could just sit in on one of these meetings, you'll see that there's heated arguments about very specific words and how things are presented. Now, if you're taking compounded GLP-1, there's no label for those. And what you could get could
Would
vary
that
widely.
be what's coming
Use at your
from
own risk, but ideally, if you take
Weight
this
Watchers?
medicine,
Is it like the
know what you're
unlabeled
taking,
GPL
and
one?
Make sure that you're getting regular care from a healthcare professional, ideally in person, and ideally someone who cares and is a great fit for you. Use the package insert on the FDA-approved version of the medicine to keep you grounded and your mind clear in the setting of excess noise. And ask your physician or pharmacist if there's anything
How did
that
we
you
get
don't
so much
understand. And what do
shit?
you know?
It's like the label on the back of
Gastroparesis,
warnings is
pancreatitis,
longer
listed
than the
in warnings and
Constitution.
precautions, bringing us back to JC.
Because
With supportive care and antibiotics, a diligent medical team who
Because-
stayed on top of his treatment, who discontinued his weight loss medicine,
Agonist.
and who was able to counsel him
Agonistic
better on
sex.
lifestyle
That's what that
modifications
reminds me
and his
of.
goals. JC was
Why
able
the
to
fuck
make
did
a
I gain 8
full
pounds, man?
recovery. Thank you so much for
I'm
watching
still, like,
up
stuck
till this
on that.
point. I know this was a lot of information, but this is such an important topic because it impacts so many people. Exercise caution, understand what this is, and understand yourself, and everything will be great. Take care of yourself and be well.
Brew. So what do we do now, Callie? Do we watch a Mr. Ballin?
I hate Mr. Ball and he scares me.
Really? What should we do then? Joe Scott?
I get scared. Fucking download League.
I mean, I can try.
And then restart your computer because you have to, not because I told you.
No, I'm gonna do it without it. I'm gonna do it without restarting my computer.
Okay, you're gonna defy the laws of nature.
I don't know why you think I have to restart my computer. Alright, let's see if I can remember what my fucking account is.
Why are there feet on your screen? Why does Joe Scott show feet, huh? For free?
True Crime,
Because
collection of
people-
spooky crime stories. Ooh. I have absolutely no idea.
There's a hurricane there for some.
I don't want to have to make a new account.
You have to wait. No, you don't have to because you already have one.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it is. I'm gonna have to go into my
Check your email.
I think it would be on this one.
Check your fucking email.
Well, I have so many emails. I don't even know which email it's on.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it would if you do like a forgot password, and then like put your oh wait, you can't even remember your user. You know, I really hate that. Like just give me. I don't know. I don't like this. I just make it easier on us. Just make it easier on us, you know.
I know, right? Don't ask me a million fucking questions.
ah,
Let's see.
I'm
Riot.
not gonna write you a love song
Riot
because you
Games.
asked for it, because you need one. Samina mina
Okay.
waka waka Samina mina waka waka. This is Africa. Yo, I bet the 3 people that are on the stream that don't include me and you are like, what the fuck is this guy singing?
Okay, I have to apparently make a Riot account.
Yo, Queen is here. Why isn't she talking? I miss Queen. Queen, I miss you.
Okay, I don't know what to do, Callie.
Make a Riot account. Yeah.
You may need to update your account with a new username.
Do the work.
Learn about Riot accounts.
Don't learn about Riot accounts. I didn't have to learn about them.
Okay, sign in. Well, this is dumb.
I didn't have to go to school. I mean, I did, but
Riot account update required. Update will allow you to sign in. Same username and password. Make sure you complete the changes,
literally gained
or you
8
will not be able to
points.
sign into your account. Wait, do I just lose my account?
I don't know, maybe. I'll buy you an
Use
account.
learn more about Riot game account changes. Use the following link to create your username now.
I will buy you a level 30 account.
But I don't have all my stuff on it. I want my account.
Okay. I'll buy you all the skins you want because I'm your wait, what's the word for it? I'll buy you all the skins you want. Waka waka is hamina wida akawe.
Okay.
I'm like I should just put this away
Forgot
because
username.
go away. I was just staring at the fucking I was just staring at the weight. I was just thinking about how much weight I gained, but no.
Okay, so we got an account.
A comedy channel that gets way existential Business Insider.
Associated with this
Wait.
is Blue Lore. Okay, so this is my
He
Blue
got
Lore
like
account. So
Gulor?
then Blue Lore.
Oh, Blue Lore account.
And
I
then
was like, is that some sort
forgot
of Star Trek
password.
thing?
Username is Blue Lore. Attention lost! Yo, what's up, yo? How's it going,
Who's
bro?
there? Who goes there? Yeah.
What you up to, my man?
Who attention lost? Is that like? Do you have ADHD out? Because if you have ADHD, you can watch 80 HD televisions at the same time. I see your face, and it is not amused.
Me?
You are not amused right now. You are very focused. You are very focused. You know, you should
Okay,
save. You
sign
should
in
like.
now.
You should just have a permanent shaved face.
Well, it's just too much work. Okay, holy shit, I think I logged in.
You actually logged in? Let's fucking play.
Okay,
I.
play
Oh
for
my
free.
god, my friend is
Download
on.
for Windows. God, I haven't played a League of Legends since
I'll
probably
carry you.
2017. I'm a support class.
I want to talk to her. Can I say hi to her? Hey,
Who?
Tox, can I go say hi
To who?
to my friend?
Where is your
Can I go say
friend?
hi? She's streaming.
Oh, so you're gonna leave? Oh.
No, I'm gonna come back.
Oh, so you're gonna leave after you want me to play video games with you?
No, no, no. I
What
must
the fuck,
stay.
Callie?
I must stay.
14 gigabytes, eh?
I must stay, but I must say hi to her. I must say hi.
Bye
And I'm gonna
bye
make sure she's
humanity. The
okay because
potential AMOC collapse. All right. All right,
I'm
I'm
make sure
sold.
she's okay because she's been having trouble sleeping.
Difficult to talk about climate
Callie,
science
do
is
what
the
you
fact
gotta
that
do, bro.
sometimes
Okay, okay.
global
You want to
warming
bang her,
okay,
bang her.
can
Fuck.
actually
Okay,
make
bye,
things
bye, bye, bye.
colder.
No, you can't buy.
Yeah,
We're
I
gonna
know.
play
Let
this
me- Let me
game.
explain. Like
No,
there was that
no,
time when
I
they were
gotta say
debating
hi to her.
climate laws back in 2015, and Senator Inhofe brought in a snowball from the outside to show that, see, it's cold outside. There's no global warming. Of course, that snowball is from a massive blizzard that blew through in February of that year that dropped 25 inches of snow across the Northeast and killed 6 people. The Weather Channel called it Winter Storm Neptune. In other words, extreme weather events. Here in Texas, actually, over the last decade or so, we've been hit by several different blasts of Arctic air that was caused by the weakening jet stream. Like here in Dallas at the end of December, we had a day where the felt temperature dropped 55 degrees in a matter of 3 or 4 hours. Oh, and it was 84 on Christmas Day this year. 80% humidity.
The fuck is this?
I had myself a swamp-ass little Christmas. But yeah, we've been having these weird events where the polar vortex weakens, so instead of trapping all that cold air up at the poles, it gets all turbulent, and then it spins off little blasts of polar air
I'm
that go way
saying
further south than
hi.
it normally would.
Ba,
See, it's
ba,
important to
ba,
understand
ba.
that you're just seeing
Wait,
wherever
I have
you
to
are,
open
you're just
League
seeing
and
a
see if I
tiny
have.
part of a giant system.
Ba, 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 ba,
And
ba,
sometimes you'll
ba.
be colder than average, sometimes you'll be hotter. We're all just at the mercy of a chaotic global system. And there's one system in that system that threatens to disrupt the lives of hundreds of millions of people in North America and Europe, and potentially even bring back the Ice Age. And if you think the weather's crazy now, just wait for the AMOC collapse. So I talked about this before back in 2022. The video back then was about the Gulf Stream collapse. That stream is part of a larger system called the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation, or AMOC for short. Or AMOC. AMOC? Amok? Is it run amok? Think of the AMOC like a large conveyor belt that circulates ocean currents around the world. It moves water from north to south and back again in a long cycle there in the Atlantic Ocean. It carries nutrients to help sustain life, and it brings warmth to various parts of the world. Like, if we didn't have this circulation, there would be much colder temperatures in northern and western Europe, and sea ice in the Arctic would expand pretty much down into Europe. The circulation process starts as warm weather near the surface moves toward the north and south poles, and that's where it cools, forming into sea ice. Salt gets left behind in the ocean water as the ice forms.
Oh my
Because of the large amount of
god,
salt,
League.
the water gets denser and it sinks down. This is where
What
the
about League?
thermohaline current comes from.
The
Thermo for
song
temperature,
that it plays when you
haline.
first open
And it
it.
eventually gets pulled toward the surface
Oh, the
and
intro?
warms up again in a process called uplifting.
Yo, that
And
song
as it
just.
does this, it loses heat to the
Oh my
atmosphere,
god.
and it warms the
I heard some
and
One Piece
And then the
some
cold water
One
in the
Piece
North Atlantic
melody
sinks down into the
for a
ocean
sec. I don't
and
know what
starts to
that
flow
was.
south, pulling warm water from the tropics along its way. And thus
It was like da
is the
da
great
da
circle of
da
life.
da da
Now,
da
none of this
da
is fast.
da
AMOC
da
circulation
da.
is
Like
really slow.
that
Like, it
was
takes like
that was
1,000
one
years
has
for a
One
cubic meter
Piece
of water to complete the entire
vibes
journey.
all over
And
it.
by the way, the Gulf Stream often gets
True.
confused
Why am
with
I
the AMOC.
why
In
am I
fact,
still
think I did
hearing
that
it?
in the last video.
Hearing what?
But yeah, the Gulf Stream is just
The
part
One Piece
of
thing.
the entire
Do I-
AMOC.
This
I don't
music
even
that's
have
playing
One
in the
Piece
Think of it as a
background?
conveyor belt. Maybe the whole thing is like a highway system.
I guess it's
Like a
you?
highway system and
It's the video, Callie.
Oh, okay.
the Gulf Stream is just like one part of the motorway for part of the journey.
I'm in
And the
an
reason I
ad,
bring
so I
this
have
up
no
again
idea.
is because, it's been a few
Oh,
years. There's
I
been more
see.
studies done. Science be science.
So who's the best
and,
support right
so
now?
yeah, I just thought that there would be a good chance to come out here and talk about the new studies.
Sona's
that have been
still
talking
good?
about the eventual potential collapse of the AMOC.
So I have not seen a Sona in
And
the
studies
longest
that say that
time.
it's not going to happen. It gets a bit confusing. Science.
Old lady science, she's a real. You gotta hang on tight.
Now let's start with the big, scary, dismal stuff that I know you all came here to watch. We'll call this the.
I've
sky
seen a lot of
section.
Lux.
Lux support?
So back
All
in
right, then.
2021, a study in Nature Geosciences showed that the AMOC was
Lux?
the weakest
Oh
it's
yeah,
been in more
Lux.
than
She
1,000 years.
wait. You don't know
The
that
study
Lux
looked at 11
supports
indicators
now?
like deep sea sediments
Nope.
and ocean temperature patterns going all the way
She's
back
not strong enough to
decades.
mid anymore.
And
She's
they found
finally a
9
support.
indicators that showed a consistent
She can
pattern
still
of AMOC
like
weakening.
go
A more
mid.
recent study from 2024 used mooring and hydrographic data from the North
What about like a
Atlantic and found that
thresh?
the abyssal limb of the AMOC is weakening. The abyssal limb. Okay, so the AMOC has.
Does anyone still
different
play
levels. It has
Thresh?
an upper cell and a deep sea
Yeah,
cell. That's
people
underneath
still
it.
play
The upper
that.
cell
What about
moves warm
Nautilus?
water from the South Atlantic Ocean to the North
I
Atlantic Ocean. That's where
haven't
it cools
seen the
down,
Nautilus
sinks, and flows
either.
back down south.
It's been
The abyssal cell is the deep sea cell of like colder water at the edge of Antarctica. Yeah, this is also known as Atlantic bottom water.
I've seen Tom Kench.
Which is fine.
Tom Kench.
I've never
Water.
played
Very
Kench.
funny. Anyway, this is actually
I've
the
seen,
coldest and densest water like in the
What about
world, of all
Leona?
the oceans of the world. But the study showed
Leona.
that
I
the
played
northward
Leona.
movement
I
of
think
this
she's
current
still.
has weakened by 12% from 2000 to 2020. And it's thought
So
that this
who
is
would
caused
you
by the
want me to
warming
play
of
as your
Western
support?
Atlantic Ocean water, which they
So
have measured
once
an
I
increase in
have to check
temperature
who I
of the
play
waters.
because
And
my
an increase
memory
in
is
sea
shit.
temperature, by the way, will also cause the
You don't
water
even
to
know you
expand.
play. I haven't played in like
Sea
8
level
years, and I know exactly
Now,
who I
another study
play.
from 2024 showed
I
that
play
the collapse of the
Jin.
AMOC, was actually pretty
I
unlikely
like
before the year
the
2100.
ADCs with
That's some good news. But when those climate models
crowd
were
control
extended out to like
and some sort of
2300 and 2500,
actually
they
like
showed that it absolutely
if I'm
will
gonna play
collapse.
ADC I need someone.
And at the tipping
Yeah,
point
yeah,
for
I
that
need you to play
collapse
someone with some sort of
will only be
CC
in the
and
next few
damage.
decades.
So like
So the study shows that 70% of
Leona
climate
or
models
Sona?
collapse if carbon emissions keep going.
Leona's better
And if you
because
extend the
she's
timeline
tanky.
out to like
Okay.
2300. That's at our current rate and intermediate level of emissions.
You better be
so
able to
there's
hit your
70%
E's.
chance of collapse.
What do you
And it even
mean?
showed that
That's the
even if they were
easiest
low
part.
emissions,
It's more like
the
hitting your
collapse
alts and the
happened in
order of
25%
it.
the models. This result
Do you
actually
alt
surprised
E or do
one
you
of the
E
authors of
alt?
the paper because he thought that the chance of collapse was probably
Wait,
less.
what?
And do you
I
preset your
E-
Professor
Q?
Stefan Robsdorf told the
I
Guardian, quote,
EQ
These
all.
numbers are not very certain, but we're talking about a matter of risk assessment where even a 10% chance of an
EQ all.
AMOC collapse would be
That's
far
how
too
you-
high.
that's-
We found
but
that the
you
tipping
gotta wait
point where the
until you're at
shutdown becomes
ADC.
inevitable
Because
is
you get the
probably
double
next year,
attack. Because you
2020.
auto attack, Q attack.
Scientists started seeing warning signs of
Oh,
the
yeah,
tipping
yeah,
point
yeah.
about 5 years ago. In fact,
Yeah.
observations in the far north
So you'd
of
be like-
Greenland
ADCS.
are
You'd be
already
like,
showing a
E,
downward trend that's consistent with
auto
the
Q auto.
projections. Even at
And it's like the
Wait,
E
wait,
stops them,
AMOCs
then they start moving, you hit them, then you stun them,
completely collapse
and then you ult them.
So yeah, to scientists,
Does your
this means that the
ADC, like,
shutdown risk
proc
is, like, way
the
more
passive
serious than
too?
people realize. There's also
No.
a little bit of a mystery in AMOC
okay.
research.
thought
It
the
turns out that
ADC
there's
It's a
this
shield
cold
smash.
water
It
just
turns your
south of
next
Greenland
auto
that
attack
is
into a shield smash, but it
basically
resets
resisted
your
the
auto
warming
attack
that the
when you
rest of
use
the
it.
oceans is
So you can
experiencing.
auto attack, Q
And
auto
we're not
attack.
quite sure why.
No, like she. Wait, let me
So
check.
some researchers at the University of California Riverside
Leona
have been
has that
studying that
passive that
recently,
does
and they have come to the conclusion
show
that the
all.
only
I don't know what
explanation
Leon's
that
passive
explains
is. I don't remember.
it is that it fits the model.
I know
of
it's
the
like something with
AMOC.
suns or
Using a
something like
century's
that.
worth of data, they reconstructed
like
changes in the
she-
circulation system and
she,
compared
like,
them to around
marks
100
people,
different climate
you know,
models.
like,
And
with-
only the models that simulated a
piss.
weakened AMOC matched the real world data
With sun
in that
piss.
little patch
Mm-hmm.
off of Greenland. Models that assumed a stronger circulation didn't even come close.
Sure.
One of the study's authors
let's
said,
see.
quote, it's a very robust
Abilities.
correlation. If you look at the
Let me see.
observations and compare them with all
Damaging
the
spells
simulations, only
afflict
the weakened
enemies with
AMOC scenario
sunlight for
reproduces the cooling in this
1.5
one region.
seconds.
They also found
When
that the
allied
AMOC weakening
champions
correlates
deal
with
damage
decreased
to those
salinity.
targets, they
And that's
consume the
another signal
sunlight
that
to do
warm, salty
additional
water is
magic
being moved
damage.
northward. And it's not
Yeah.
just computerized climate models that we
You have to like
go off of that
wait
shows
for
that there
your
could be a-
ADC
an
to
eventual
auto
collapse. There's also what
to
they
like
call
do the most
fingerprints from
damage.
satellite images.
No, would you wait for
These
me to
fingerprints
auto
don't
and
show that-
then?
that the water is weakening.
Because I
Yeah,
have to
but
mark
your
them, don't I?
abilities-
At the same time. So the climate
Your
researchers
abilities
can
do
prove
the
that
mark.
AMOC weakening is already
Oh wait,
in
yeah,
place.
you
Yeah, so
hit.
I
and
have to hit them,
hit.
and then they're marked, and then you have to
So
hit
that's
them
a lot of
after I
scary
hit them.
studies, and that all
So it's
Yeah, yeah.
actually on
That's
you to
for
make
us
sure that
and
you proc the
for
mark.
our grandkids.
It's
but
just on
before
me
you
to
go the
make it,
survival bunker, there are
and
some
not
studies
waste
that
it.
say, not so much. We can call
And
this
you do know the most
science
powerful
fiction.
item in the game is boots, right?
Yeah, because like
3,
you can-
2, 1,
For
toe.
example, a study published in
You can
Nature
get.
last year
Wait a
found that
minute.
AMOC
Do you
is
get
actually
boots
pretty
first?
resilient
Because
to
if you
extreme
get boots
greenhouse
first, you're not gonna have
gases.
damage.
This is because, according to the study authors anyway, The AMOC can be driven by consistent winds in the Southern Ocean.
You get boots
Winds
when
that
you're
can
like
both sustain or
unable
weaken
to like
AMOC.
reach
So
the
even if
enemy.
AMOC
They're like too
slows down
fast for you.
the natural, currents of the wind
I always get
above
boots
the
first.
water
Boots, pots,
help
ward.
sustain it.
Boots,
They
pots,
also found
ward.
that
That's how I
AMOC
play
can't
support.
collapse without a PMOC. What is
Yeah.
PMOC?
Did you hear my fart?
Well, it's the Pacific
No.
Meridional Overturning.
But
Okay.
And
You
it
should-
can
if
stabilize
you
the
have
AMOC
suggestions for
20 points.
items,
In fact,
I will
if
get
the
your
AMOC
items.
collapse, you kind of need a PMOC to
Okay.
perform.
But usually that's how I start.
mean,
Boots,
The good
pots,
news is that
wards.
They found a strong downwelling that has balanced the upwelling in the Atlantic that will prevent a PMOC from forming. which would prevent the AMOC from
Like
collapsing.
when we're like the same movement speed,
You're
it's like
getting all
I can
this, right?
I can reach you
So
very
they ran a whole
easily.
bunch of models,
But
and
then if
almost
you're
all
like
of their
Leona,
models
The whole
you
point
need
is
to
that I
be
can
able to
stay
stop
behind and
speed.
still outrun.
any
Right?
boost
So I can
data
like go
so
in while
anyway,
you're running
good
away
news is
and
they
still run
predicted
away
that
too.
Yeah, I
AMOC
think
is
boots would be
unlikely,
good.
at least in this next
Like,
century.
it's just the
More
playstyle I
good news,
prefer.
There was a paper
think boots
published
are
in
good
Nature
for me.
Communications in January of 2025, and in
Ba,
this
ba,
paper,
ba,
they
ba.
I mean,
There's
if
a
we get
guy-
completely
actually
destroyed, I just
didn't
won't
decline
feed,
at all
right? I'll just
in the
make
last
sure that I
60
don't
years.
feed.
Our paper says that the
I'll only
effect
be
is over
0 and 27, not 0 and
That
62.
doesn't say anything about its future, but it doesn't appear the
Yo,
anticipated
wait,
changes
wait,
will
wait! My
occur.
brain is
That sounds great.
like completely
Pop
distracted
the
now.
champagne
I was
if
just
you
thinking
want,
about
but,
like
I should point out that
how
there was
like
a 2018
when
study
people
that
rage
said
at
that the
me, I'm
AMOC
like,
had declined
I
over the
fucked your
last
dad,
10
and
years,
it's
so
Well,
like
it says that I can't play it until I
versus the
restart, so I'm just gonna
That
restart
research
the
relied on
player
those two
and
surface
not
temperature
the
measurements to track how
PC.
the AMOC changed, but measuring the surface
you have to
temperature
restart your entire
doesn't
PC.
actually work that well.
It's not gonna
Researchers for
happen.
this latest study took a different tack. They used data from 24 climate Earth models created by the World Climate Research Program.
It's just
And
not
they
gonna
found that
happen,
the recent
Callie.
surface temperature data
We're not
didn't
gonna
predict an
play.
AMOC collapse. It took things a little bit further by looking at what they call
I'm sure I can
air-sea
cheat the
heat
system.
fluxes, which is an exchange of heat from the ocean
Cheat
to
the
the atmosphere.
system.
They
Are you
found that a
gonna
stronger
like get a
AMOC releases
virtual
more heat from the
machine?
ocean into the air over
I'm just
the
gonna
North Atlantic,
close
and by measuring that, they concluded that
the
the
League
AMOC hasn't weakened at
launcher
all
and
from
reopen the
1960
League
to
launcher.
You fucking hacker.
I'm sure if I understood that, that would all sound really great. And in a little more positive news, a study by Caltech researchers found that even though the AMOC
Man, we're not
will
gonna
weaken
play
because of
today.
climate change, it'll do so less than expected. They came to this conclusion based on density differences and real-world measurements of the current strength over the last 20 years. And they found that the AMOC will only weaken by about 18 to 43%.
I don't know, it's still installing some third-party
43% is a
programs.
lot. It is, but it's
I'm
nowhere
so
near
tired.
where
I
the,
mean,
you know,
I could probably still
disastrous climate
exercise. I'm
models
probably just
predict.
like tired
As
from
the study's
waking
lead
up or
author
something.
said, quote, our results imply that rather than a substantial decline,
Is that a
the AMOC is
spaceman
more
and a
likely to
globe and
experience
a
a limited
plant
decline
and
over the
and
21st
a rat
century.
in the
Still
background?
some weakening, but less drastic than previous projections suggest. Some of the extreme AMOC weakening projections came from basically biases in climate models. So worry a little bit, maybe.
Oh my god.
But do worry a little bit, because this has happened before. About 13,000 years ago. What is this move? Real quick, I want to shout out some new channel members. We've gotten kind of
Oh, my
behind
toes.
on the shout outs
I
lately
need you to
with the
massage my
holidays
toes.
and everything. So let's bless the new members with Power Zoe. Here we go. We got Judith
found a
Diarroyo,
Diego.
K-Man2324,
This is
Veronica
gay.
Garcia, Randall Smith, Valkyrie's Ride,
What's
King Honey,
gay?
HD Nero,
It's not letting
Russell
me.
Carter, Fire Iron and Spice,
Haha, you have
Vance
to restart your
Shelf,
computer.
Becky, Ostensible Muse,
But I'm just
Pia,
not gonna do it,
Sonic
so it just
Says,
means
Philly
that they're
Dendron,
fucked.
and Critter Keeper. Thank you guys
We're
so much for being
fucked!
members. If you'd like to join them to get early
Every
access to videos
Friday.
or just be part of a cool community or have a little thing next to your name down in the comments, makes you a little special, just click the join link down below. Have you ever heard of Lake Agassiz?
I'm
This is
a-
actually really cool.
I'm a
event
fucking
that
I'm a
happened.
fucking
I should
like
probably do a whole video about it, but yeah, like
I'm a
back at the very end of
fucking
the Ice
like
Age,
turn off your computer
this
from here.
massive
I'm gonna grab
ice
a remote
of
control and just
meltwater
press
But
the
that'll
off
end
button.
the
North America on top of all the
stream.
glaciers that were up there, and they
I
called
can
it Lake
stream for
Agassiz,
you!
at least current researchers
Can
call
you
it that.
stream and then
But
I
yeah,
raid
12,000
you and then you
years ago,
stream and raid
the
me?
ice dam that kind of kept
Okay,
all
fine.
that
Wait,
lake
one sec.
together collapsed, and this dumped massive amounts of fresh water into the sea. Like, some people point to this as maybe an explanation for
Stream.
flood myths around the world.
Yo,
because it
I
made
fucking
the entire
uninstalled
world sea
OBS.
level rise over.
You're
Anyway, all
dumb.
that fresh water
Shut
got into
no.
the ocean, and it messed
Now
up
you're gonna be the one who has to
the
restart their computer,
and this caused
bitch.
temperature fluctuations from 10 to 15 degrees in the northern hemisphere. So there's a lot of debate around how much of an effect this might have had. Some people suggest
Oh my
that maybe it was
god,
a
what the
comet
fuck is
impact
wrong
that,
with my
that set off
OBS?
that melt. Yeah,
Yo,
there's a
something's
debate
wrong.
around that.
What the
There
fuck
is
is
no debate that
happening?
this
It says
happened, though. There
cocaine
was a
on my
1300
computer.
year,
Is my computer
era
smuggling
of freezing
cocaine?
that
Yes, it
now
is,
today the
Callie.
Younger Dryas.
What the
And
fuck
some
is
people believe
happening?
that this might have been a
What
cause
is
of that.
this?
So that's kind of what we could expect to happen. At
My
the
name
AMOC
is still
where it
high
collapsed.
caliber on my
Scientists
computer on my
predict that some European cities
Streamlabs.
would see a drop of 10 to 15 degrees Celsius, but Europe wouldn't be the only place.
So,
affected. The
are you
Atlantic
saying
Ocean
you're
would rise
SOL?
by 70 centimeters, basically
What is
submerging many
SOL?
coastal
Shit
areas
out of
and
luck.
cities. And in the southern hemisphere, regions would actually get a lot warmer
yo.
than they already are.
This
An
is
AMOC
from
collapse, while not right at our
this is
doorstep,
from
it is definitely something
like
that
a
we should
year
be concerned
ago.
about. In fact, it's so serious
Just go
that
live on
Iceland declared
Twitch.
it a national risk in November 2025. So they've been looking at what policies and
I-
research might be needed, and they're already.
Okay, I think I know know what to do. It's just that my screen's
Some of
gonna
those
be
being
black when I
evaluated
stream.
include
Yeah, it doesn't
managing
matter.
grid
It just
security,
needs to be long
infrastructure, and
enough that
transportation.
I
Iceland isn't
can
waiting for some
restart my computer and then you can
long-term
re-raid me.
research study to come along. They're acting right now. They believe it's not if but when. But yeah, the
What
will it
the
won't it collapse of the
I forgot how to do
is
this
something to
shit.
keep an eye on. for sure, but
Oh, okay.
there's a lot more pressing climate issues to address in the near term. Things like food security.
Okay, so it's
ecosystem
creator
degradation,
dashboard, I
rising
think.
disease
And then
rates,
send
that
me a
kind of
link
thing.
to your stream.
Luckily, as I was pointing out with
Send
Iceland,
you
people
a
and
link.
governments are taking
Okay.
it seriously.
Once you're
and they're
live.
doing things about it.
Okay.
Now you might be watching this and thinking,
Oh
like,
my
what can you
God.
do to directly support conservation efforts around the
I
world? Which is a
forgot
good thing to
how
do,
to
but it
do
can
this.
get kind of confusing because you don't really know exactly what organizations are doing specifically.
Where their money goes, whether they're embezzling it and frauding it out, I don't trust
And the reason
anybody.
why I find it interesting is because it's less like
Except me,
donating
right?
to a charity
No, I
and
meant
more like
charities
crowdfunding.
and like
Okay.
Every
those
month, their
kinds of things,
community
like
of
big
around
companies.
20,000 or so members funds new, carefully selected missions to restore nature. These are
Like Walmart wouldn't
specific
do
campaigns to solve a
like
problem
donate to any
in
charity
various
if they
parts of
didn't
the
get
world, from
tax
clearing
breaks for
plastic
it.
from rivers in
They
India
only
to
do it
protecting an
because it's
endangered
beneficial
seal
because they
population
get
in
tax
Baltic Sea.
breaks.
And the cool thing is they share all their
Just
missions.
fucking retarded.
Video up-to-dates, which you can see
The
on
fuck?
their YouTube channel, which it's worth a follow. You should check them out. Take, for example, Mission 32 to help restore the Muga Valley in Spain. The Muga Valley
Are you
is a
ready yet?
green desert where, like, decades
I'm
of
trying to
coal
get rid
mining
of
and shifted the
things because I have
ecosystem
like a bunch of
basically to the
stupid
point of
crap.
collapse.
Just
Ironically,
turn
the
your
problem is that
screen
there's
off,
too many
like
trees.
on OBS.
There's basically a large canopy of
Okay.
oak forest that have blocked
Just like
the
don't
sun
have
and killed
a
off all
like
the
you know
undergrowth.
have a screen on.
The undergrowth and all
And they'll
the
just throw
Oh
a
my
show.
God.
that they maintain. So in this
You know,
case,
there's
to help out, they're basically going to cut down
there's
some
a
trees
section
and introduce
of
some important species like vultures.
my
And these are the kind of
fucking
projects that
stream
you might
called
never have heard
Reading and
about, that would just kind of
Dancing.
fly under our
Fuck
cultural
yeah.
radars. But with Planet Wild, we get to
Oh look,
actually
one of the scenes
support
actually
these kinds
works.
of projects and then see the impact that they're having.
Okay.
And even better,
Okay.
you get to
I'm
be
gonna start
part of an
stream.
engaged community of people who
All right, you
want to
ready?
make a difference. That's why I became a member myself. To join us, you can give whatever amount, whatever feels good to you, big or small, doesn't matter. But the best part is, this is the fun part, is that the first 100 people who sign up using my code JoeScott2 will get their first month paid for by me. You're welcome. Just scan the QR
Like,
code on
is
screen
my?
and click the
I don't
link.
think my mic's working
This is
actually.
real
Wait, let me see.
hands-on nature restoration.
Hello?
The best part is you get to see
Yo,
results
it's
in less
got
than 30
the wrong
days.
account.
And you can cancel anytime.
Are you live yet?
So if you want to see Planet Wild in action, just check out their mission restoring a green desert right here. So that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If this is your first time here, I recommend maybe you check out this video. It's about the best places to live to survive
The
climate
live
change.
button isn't
I put it out a few
working.
years ago. There are
Oh,
these places
no.
that they
Oh, title
call,
required.
survivability islands. I
Hi.
think that's what they call them. Climate change.
You're
islands.
making it
Starting
so
get-
much more difficult than it should be.
Survive. If the worst is
Start more
I invite you to
difficult.
check that out if you're new to the channel. Maybe
I'm
you'll
sorry.
like that one. And if you do, I invite you to subscribe.
More-
Come back with videos just like this every Monday. As
more
always, check out the Book of
difficult,
Mysteries
blah,
on
blah.
sale now at Amazon. It's a collection of some of the best
I have no
mystery
idea what I'm
topics that we've
fucking
covered on this
doing.
channel. And then some. Worked on it
Help
for a couple of
me.
years. It's out. Really
Can I
excited
like?
about it.
Can I like
It's got
log
some
out
good
or
reviews, too.
something?
Anyway, link down in the description. Go check it out. But that's it for today. You guys go out there, have an eye-opening
Log
rest of
out.
the week.
Log in.
So does that mean we're gonna have time to watch a Mr. Ballin video?
No, no, wait, I can do this.
You can do this.
We're gonna play League right now. We're gonna play League in 5
Are you
minutes.
sure?
Wait a minute, you have to actually, yeah, start a Mr. Ballin video because even if you. Yeah, start it. I mean, you're gonna. Oh my god, nothing's working.
So you're
See, this is
saying
what
it's
you
gonna
have to
take
deal
you
with.
like 20 minutes to figure this out.
I'm saying that even if you like restart your computer,
Today's story
you're gonna have to update League in the game, and you're gonna have to watch another Ballin video because it takes a while.
What? But I already installed it.
Yeah, there's like a in-game thing where that you have to do like download.
I don't believe you.
Wait a sec, isn't there? Does it do that when you? Oh!
Callie, just do what you gotta do. Go live.
Okay, okay. Add destination. Cali.
really weird.
This
It's
is my
basically
stream
like a cross
key.
between medical mysteries and a full-blown supernatural story. But
So
independent
what
of
does
what you
server
believe in terms
URL
of what
mean?
actually happened here,
No
what
idea.
you're going to hear about is
I'm like
totally
ruining your stream right now.
bizarre, just inexplicable behavior that was documented over and over and
Oh,
over
I'm so
again
sad.
over many years. And so even if you think this is fully rooted in science, I'm telling you, there's not really a great explanation for exactly what went down here. But before we get into today's story, If you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you've come to the right place because that's all we do, and we upload 2, 3, even 4 times every week. So, if that's of interest to you, please sneak into the Like Button's house and put itching powder in their contact solution. Also, please subscribe to our
that's
channel and turn on all
brutal.
notifications so
That's
you don't miss any
brutal.
of our weekly uploads. Okay, let's get into today's story.
Oh my god.
Born Together. That's quite a title.
One afternoon in September of 1951, a 53-year-old father named
Oh my
Adolphus
god.
Eller carried a large
I heard
cardboard
myself
box to his car
nyayo.
You're
to
not
a
very
boarding
good at this,
house
are
in
you,
the city
Cam?
of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. He took the box
I'm
inside
extremely
and then
good
went
at
down the hallway
this.
Okay,
and
then
into
why
his
haven't you
where
gone
his
by
21-year-old
yet?
daughters, whose names
I just have
Bobby
no
and
idea
Betty,
what the fuck I'm
were busy
doing.
unpacking. Now, for Bobby and Betty, they were both really excited about moving into this boarding house. They had recently decided
I don't know
to,
why it's not
at the
adding
same
my
time,
fucking
move out of the
destination.
home
I'm
they'd
fucking
grown up
angry
in,
right
which was
now.
in a
Shit.
town about an hour away, which is where their dad, Adolphus, and his wife were currently
Fuck
living.
you,
They decided
Streamlabs.
to move here and get a job at a cigarette factory. They were both going to work there and live in this boarding house, and it was like a big deal for them. They were, becoming
Oh my
adults.
god.
And so for them, they were
Literally
really
opened
excited, but,
Streamlabs
for their
like
dad, Adolphus, it
20
was bittersweet.
times.
On the one hand, he was incredibly proud of them for becoming adults, so to speak. But on the other, it was, sad to see his little girls becoming adults.
I'm
And so
disrupting
even
the
though they
video
were now,
with my
off on their
beautiful
own,
voice.
they were still together, literally living in this boarding house together and working at the same factory. And so he knew,
Oh my god,
even though
I
he
fixed
couldn't
it.
be there and neither could their mom, to make sure they were okay, they would have each other, they'd
Hello?
look after each other. And so in a way, he knew they'd be okay. So Bobby and Betty, they were not just, close
I fixed it,
siblings.
dogs.
They were actually identical twins.
Open
they had a
dashboard
really,
or
really deep
something.
bond that likely only comes with being a twin. And even amongst, identical twins who are very close with their sibling, it seemed like Bobby and Betty had like a really intense relationship that really went way past whatever was normal amongst identical twins. I mean, they really leaned into being identical twins. So they both were 5'3". They both had sort of round faces and dark hair, and they made sure they always styled their hair exactly the same way. But then just beyond their physical appearances being obviously very similar and, styling themselves to look very similar, they also had very, very similar personalities and interests, almost to the point
I'm
where
taking
it was
forever.
forced. They were both very social, very outgoing, and they both played the piano, and they sang in the glee club at school, and they both made good grades. But also, they seemed to share things that didn't seem possible really to share. For
I play
example,
the
they had a
piano.
tendency to get sick at the same time, but with illnesses that were not necessarily contagious. Like one time, Bobby had developed an abscess on one of her teeth, and she was really sick from it. And kind of inexplicably, Betty got an abscess in her tooth. Like, this is not something she could feign. It was like she just developed the exact same thing at the same time as her twin sister. And then any time, although it was pretty rare, that the sisters were different in some capacity, often
Am I
because it was
streaming?
forced on them in some way, the sisters would very intentionally sort of do things to recorrect and become similar again. For example, when Bobby had to get glasses because she had bad eyesight, Betty begged to get glasses herself, despite the fact her vision was much better than Bobby's, but she still got those glasses so they could be the same. And now, their big move out of the house involved getting the exact same
Am I
job at the same
streaming at all?
factory
I
and
think I'm
living in
streaming
the
at
same
all.
room in the boarding house. And
Send
so
me a
it really
link.
was just a continuation of the same behavior they had always exhibited. Now, there was a part of
But the
Adolphus and also
screen
his
is
wife
black
that,
for some
secretly
reason.
hoped that Bobby
Yeah, but it doesn't
and
matter.
Betty
Just send me a link
might
to
eventually
your Twitch
become
chat.
more
Okay.
independent of each other. Like, that seemed like a healthy route
I can
for them
raid
to
you.
eventually take. But as he set down the last box of their things on the floor and
Ba,
looked at
ba,
his
ba,
daughters who
ba,
had
ba,
the
ba,
same
ba.
identical excited smiles on, he actually found himself feeling grateful
Here you
that they were kind of
go.
taking this leap
Ah,
in
my
tandem
fucking
like they always
thumb.
would. He just felt like, you know what?
Hello
I just
there?
feel like this is a good intermediary step. Let them
Do
be
you
dependent
hear
on each
me?
other for now. It's a good bridge.
I can't believe
into
you're
adulthood.
making me end the stream,
So
Callie.
eventually,
Alright, guys,
for a
I'll be
few
right back. I'm
minutes,
just raiding Callie real
I'm
quick.
making
I'm
you
gonna take
end
off
the
now.
stream.
Best of luck. I
Raiding
love you.
Callie, and
Oh,
then
look
he's gonna
at
raid me
that.
back.
Whenever you need to. And then he left.
Okay,
and
let me
headed back
see
home.
this.
2 years later, Adolphus
And then we're
spent
gonna
time
play
in
some
the
League, I
kitchen.
guess.
His wife finished cooking
We're
in the
gonna play
kitchen
some fucking
inside of their
League.
home in the small town
I'm
of
gonna open some
Pearl Beer, North
fucking
Carolina.
windows.
And Adolphus had just put down the last dinner plate when he heard a knock
Alright,
at
we'll be
the
right
door.
back.
And right away, he
Who
felt
goes
so
there?
excited.
I don't
because he
even have the
knew
fucking mic
that, it's the
working.
weekend and my
Alright,
daughter's
I'll be
always
right
came
back.
to visit me.
I said Mick. That's something my friend would always make fun of me for. Oh my god, is that a raid? I don't even have anything set up, yo. Welcome to something. This is something, all right. And you're at it right now. You're at the thing. Wait,